to discuss a PSA, but that may be part of your workup. And then if your primary care doctor does that blood test and it is high, they may refer you to see a urologist for further testing.
Once again, it is Men's Health Month, so for answers to questions like that one and much, much more, including general information for men and their health, please visit wakemed.org. Once again, that website is wakemed.org.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized, hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
The future depends on teachers who are reinventing the classroom and starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can gift to a child.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Our humidity remains low, but the temperatures are climbing. We'll see a high near 90 for this afternoon. Comfortable tonight, 59 under mainly clear skies. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow, but a high of 92 and a bit more humid and hotter this weekend with mid-90s.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 897 points to 51,584. Market update brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
Nikolai Ehlers playing his way around Theodore. Ehlers coming in, snaps a shot, he scores! Carolina, right off the bat! Are going to send Ehlers. Ehlers on a partial break. Ehlers strikes, shoots, he scores! Nikolai Ehlers, 2 for 2, my friend. A chance shot, he scored! The captain, Jordan Stahl, ties it at 3. Colvin able to get to it. Now Gostisbehere shoots and scores! Shane Gostisbehere comes up.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Once again, I can tell everybody we are live outside the Lenovo Center for Stanley Cup final action, which you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan later tonight. Game 2, of course, what we're talking about today. Game 1 a couple days ago, Vegas stole one on the road, 5-4. But the Carolina Hurricanes look to even up the series today. And as I said, you can hear it right here on The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox here with me. We'll have a rotating cast of our favorites keeping us up and running back at the studio today. For right now, Max Gorin back at the studio keeping us up and running. And that means he can go ahead and hit the start on the way we start every single show. That's with the big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
And before we get to number 1, the Big 3 at 3 is presented by Maynard Service Company. Check them out online for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. MaynardServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. Number 1, previewing Game 2 is the exact same thing that number 1 reviewing Game 1 was.
Oh, okay.
The top line. It's become obvious from the way Rod Brindamore spoke to the media, from the way the team spoke to the media, from the way every single Canes fan has spoken over the last 48 hours, that there's a crescendo that has been reached when talking about the top line in a very it's now or never style kind of game for them. They've done some things well. They've done some things quiet throughout the postseason. They need a good game. They need a loud game. They need to get on the score sheet. They need to have their imprint felt on the outcome of this game. You're talking Aho, you're talking Jarvis, you're talking Svetch, and you better be talking a big game here today.
I want to see a consistent effort from them, or a consistent performance, I should say. I think sometimes we mistake effort for performance, because they are trying. The effort is there, but the execution just isn't there. I think that's something they need to have, is a consistently executed game today, where they're constantly in the offensive end. They're holding on to pucks. They're generating not just shots on goal, but high danger chances as well. They're going to have to fight to get to the middle of the ice. I fully expect Vegas to be tighter today than what they even were just a couple nights ago. Same thing with Carolina. Would not surprise me if this is a lower scoring game, as both teams try to batten down the hatches a little bit. But those guys, as Rob Brindamore said, your top guys have got to be on the score sheet. They have to be. Top guys got to be there. And they have to produce in some way, shape, or form tonight. Whether it's the power play, whether it's 5-on-5, like you said, Chris, or Tim, I'm going to use your word, imprints. They have to have their imprints on tonight's game.
And to build off the a little bit more consistent angle, after the game, Rod said they had a good shift in the third period.
They did late, and Seth Jarvis had a really great scoring chance off of it.
But your top line, you can't speak you needed to give me a number. It can't be they had a good shift. It needs to be, some form of how many good shifts, or maybe they had a bad shift would be a good way to think about them. If the rest are all solid, they're too good to be able to single out the good shift that they had, because they're going to be on the ice a lot. They're going to take a lot of shifts. They're going to eat up a lot of ice time, which they should, but they should be able to do a little bit more with it. So now or never. Right, for the top line. Today is a really important high-stakes game for the team, and a really important high-stakes game for that top line. Who, by the way, if you go look right now in the Carolina Hurricanes history, the most points in the playoffs, number 1, 2, and 3 are Aho, Svetch, and Jarvis.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like they are proven in the postseason. They've had big games in the postseason. It's not like they aren't good enough or they don't like rising to the occasion. It's just they haven't done it yet this year in a big way. So hopefully tonight that ends.
3 leading goal scorers last year in the playoffs: Svetch, Aho, Jarvis, and then Stankoven.
The 5 points leaders for the Canes this year, none of them were on the team 2 years ago. It's time for some of the vets to get out there and get rolling. It's time for some of the vets to say, thanks, new guys. We appreciate it. Our turn in the spotlight. That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
I'd like to see a real top-notch Freddie Anderson game. Not one where afterwards we're going, you can't put it on Freddie. I want one where it's like, no, Freddie won that for you. Freddie Anderson has been, at times this postseason, exceptional. At times he's also been pretty solid, right? After losses, there's a lot of people yelling at Freddie and a lot of people going, nah, it wasn't Freddie. I want to see an old school great Freddie game. And I'm a big stats guy. I could find you 900 million stats that are, when the goalie plays well, your chances of winning go through the roof.
Yeah.
And if your goalie plays great, your chances of winning go even further through the roof. And anytime you make a run, and I'm using the universal U, not the Carolina Hurricanes. Anytime a team makes a run to a Stanley Cup, there's usually 3 or 4 games you look at during that run and go, yep, goalie won you that one. It's just the nature of the game, right? You need guys to step up in those moments. Freddie Anderson has the capability. He's been locked in. But I think in this series, as it was shown last game, in game 1, Vegas has a little something that some of the teams they've played haven't had. And that includes maybe a little bit more offensive firepower, maybe a little bit more physicality. That's just, you're not going to face 12 shots against the Vegas Golden Knights.
No.
And you're not going to face 15 shots against the Vegas Golden Knights. You're going to get a more hefty workload with, the high leverage mixed in. And, even the ones that aren't Freddie's fault, if he can steal two of those goals for you, could completely change the trajectory of the series.
I think that's the thing that they need from Freddie tonight is obviously make the ones you're supposed to make.
Mm-hmm.
But buy you one more. Just buy the team one more. Just one. Just make the one that you're not supposed to make.
And that is the conversation after so many Freddie Anderson games.
Yeah.
Where you're going like, none of the 4, none of the 5 were really on Freddie.
They weren't.
But if you could take just one of them away, it would have been good to see. Like, that's always the conversation, which, by the way, is in a lot of ways a compliment. But that doesn't mean we can't be greedy, right? It doesn't mean we can't ask for one more. I'm always, and coaches are always this way. You're always going to ask for one more because, player has it in him. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
The Carolina Hurricanes were out-hit 35-26 in Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think physicality should be an emphasis for them in Game 2. There has to be, particularly early, a very, very strong sense of, you do things well, we do things well, the back and forth, the chess match, it's going to happen. But if you want to brawl, we're here for it, right? And obviously metaphorically, I'm not saying drop the gloves. But if you want to get out there and you want to test metal, if you want to measure each other's toughness, we're here for it. And with that comes a little added emphasis on certain players, right? A little added emphasis on the guys with size, the Jordan Stalls, the Alexander Nikishins. A little added emphasis on the William Carriers, guys that are comfortable throwing their weight around and finding a way to rattle the opposing team. There's a lot in Game 1 where a board battle, a loose puck, whatever it is, and obviously everybody kind of collapses around it. And it was just the Canes being, I don't want to say hesitant, but once the contact was made, they were the ones leaning back, and that gave enough time to get to the puck first or win the board battle or whatever the situation was on that particular battle for the puck. I want to win those. And it's one of those things in the Montreal series. Do you know how many games the Canes were out hit?
None.
0. And that series was a lot of like answering to the haters, all the people that said, the Canes physicality, the Canes size, they don't have the toughness, that have echoed for the better part of a decade. There was some pushing back, some answering in that Montreal Eastern Conference Finals. Well, talking about answering and pushing back, Game 2 is a perfect opportunity for that within this series.
Hits to me are a little bit of a weird stat in the sense of there's obviously subjectivity into how you count that, but also as well in the sense that if you're possessing the puck more than your opponent, you're going to have less hits. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of how it is generally. But what we have seen in the playoffs with this Carolina Hurricanes team is that the moment they lose the puck, they lay the hit, they get the puck right back. So they've been out possessing teams, but for the most part have been out hitting teams as well. That's something I think you bring up a really good point is that we saw, especially the last couple of games in the Montreal series, where it felt like Carolina was playing the bully, like physically playing the bully. Now, again, different opponent, but it felt like they had that mindset and to initiate. Now, there is the delicate balance of it's one thing to go for a hit, but if you take yourself out of position to try and go make a hit on somebody along the boards after they get rid of the puck, well, then you're actually sacrificing something in a negative way. So it is a delicate balance, but I agree with you in the sense of you want to see Carolina be physical, and this is the biggest team I think they probably faced this entire postseason. Ottawa was a pretty physical and heavy team as well, but Vegas is at a different level.
It is a good point that hits are kind of subjective, but there's no stat that says like, hey, I was watching them and they seem less physical than they had been in recent games. That's really what I was trying to get across. Like when you're watching the game, it just felt like a different willingness to lay the lumber. And once you prove that you have that in your game, like we know it's there. So now we want it. You gave us a taste of it. Now we want the whole thing. The Carolina Hurricanes, you don't even have to out-hit them, but you can't be out-hit by 10. You know what I mean? Make it an even game in the physicality standpoint, and I like your chances. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you're making your way out to the Lenovo Center, first of all, enjoy it, right? Stanley Cup final action in your home arena. Enjoy it. There will be a concert over our shoulder from Dan and Shay. There will be the Fan Fest, the whole deal that we have going on here. We're looking forward to it. So stop out. We are in the Carter Finley section of things.
Yeah.
So cross the street, come on over, say hi. We love hearing from all of you. It is a little toasty, so hydrate appropriately, right? Get some water in you before you make your way over. But it should be a really fun day. We're all looking forward to some really good hockey, some Stanley Cup final game 2, hopefully bounce back game for the Canes. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we got to look at that top line. How do you fix it? Is there something to fix? What do you expect to see from Aho, Jarvis, Svetch tonight? Stick around.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Hey, it's Tim Donnelly, and if you're like me, you're a storyteller, and you need to embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. So yeah, if we're sitting around watching the headliner, we want to be talking about when we saw him at the dive bar a few years ago. Or if you stop your friends mid-festival to look at the stars, first of all, do that to me. I love that sort of thing. And then embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing. Hazy, citrusy, smooth. There's a reason it's America's best-selling hazy IPA. Embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. Enjoy responsibly.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Sissons. It's for the puck to drop. He works it back. Carolina collapses, though. Stankoven able to get to it. Now Gostisbehere shoots and scores! Shane Gostisbehere comes up with the equalizer. Number 4 puts the Canes' 4th goal on the board. We're tied in Raleigh in game 1.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will be doing first goal scorers later in the show. So if you haven't done so already, you can run to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Jump in the live stream chat, the comments there, and let us know who you think will score the first goal for tonight's Carolina Hurricanes game. Of course, we're talking Canes. And in what period you think they will score it. Just do me a favor. Don't predict it in the first 35 seconds. Okay? Just not the first 35 seconds. Anything beyond that, anything, second minute and on, I think we'd be all right with. That's just a favor to me, though. You can also send it to me on Twitter at Donnelly Sports. I have a tweet up asking for first goal score predictions. Dennis, you're raising your hand.
I'll say, you want to talk about people speaking stuff into existence? Definitely one of the first ones we got. Seth Jarvis in the first. Another one of the first ones we got. Andrei Svechnikov in the first.
Oh, I mean, on Twitter right now. How about this one from Blue on Twitter?
Okay.
Got to be 20, 37, or 24.
All right. So any one of the top line. All right.
Jarvis, if he does it in the first, we're on our way. Jarvis in the first, 2-on-1, give and go from Aho. I don't want to give and go. I don't want them thinking give and go. I want them go. I want them scoring. I don't want them having open shots and thinking give and go. I want them to shoot. I want them to be selfish. Obviously, if the give and go is the right move, do it. But I want them thinking shoot first. Listen, let's just go right to it. The Canes top line. Now or never, all of that. I went back and I earlier today, and I watched some Sebastian Aho playoff highlights from years previous to this year. I can't emphasize this enough. He has it in him, right? He has the ability. He has the skill to be a top-line center on a Stanley Cup champion. We haven't seen it as much this year, but it's there somewhere. And it's about drawing it out and figuring out how to get that play on the ice in a game like today. You know what else I did, Dennis, for nostalgia purposes?
What's that?
I went back, I have it written down here, 462 days. Do you know what happened 462 days ago?
I don't know. Tell me.
Sebastian Aho posted a letter to the fans on the Players Tribune.
Oh, yeah, the Players Tribune. Yeah, that's right.
Which is a website that supposedly takes out the middleman of media, right? Players get to put it in their own words and write to the public. It is, you don't need a ghostwriter. It's not like you're being interviewed and a journalist gets to paint the picture. You get to go put it in your own words. And I kind of want Sebastian Aho to read it today. I kind of want him to instead of framing it as a letter to Canes fans, I want to frame it as like a letter to his future self. Then I could read it to you, but I will give you pretty much the last line. And when the time comes and the building gets even louder and the games matter even more, I can promise you one thing. Raleigh, close isn't good enough. That's Sebastian Aho's words 462 days ago.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of other quotes you could use. Things like, everyone's a loser until they're a winner. And I know we're winners. And then in italics, I know it. Like there's a lot of stuff there that basically tells Canes fans, we're going to achieve the big goal. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just talking about getting one step further than we've gotten. We're not just talking about getting close. They want to win the whole darn thing. He does it for Rod or he says he's going to do it for Rod in the article that he wrote. But it all comes down to the losses hurt. They're going to work hard. They're going to do everything right. And they're going to go win the whole darn thing. And part of that is, you have every opportunity right here, right now. You have every opportunity right here, right now to go out and make good on all of these promises that he put into the world 462 days ago. Make yourself correct on all of this. And the way you do that is by being a little forceful, right? By taking the power, taking the fight to Vegas. And while all of this, with the Players Tribune article is kind of centered on Aho.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is true for Svetch and Jarvis as well.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are talented. They're highly paid. They're really good. They're proven in the postseason. They need to go ahead and follow through on the final frontier. And if you don't do it today, I mean, I got stats for you. If you don't do it today, if you go down 2-0 in a Stanley Cup final,
mm-hmm.
it becomes 91% of the time the team ahead 2-0 ends up winning the Stanley Cup final. Again, it's not impossible. 9% is probably more than most were thinking when you're down 2-0.
Yeah.
But when you go down 2-0, 91% of the time, it's now or never for this group.
I also wonder what that number looks like for the team that goes up 2-0 that's had won those 2 games on the road.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if the size would be like statistically relevant because it doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't, but it's just, we'll get into a little bit of must-win talk and stuff a little bit later on today. But I mean, those guys understand it. Those guys know it. I know Rob Brindamore actually had talked about it a little bit earlier this morning as well for the Carolina Hurricanes about that top line, about getting them going. And he was actually asked, Max, let's go to that second cut about line combinations, because some people are actually floating around the best way to get this group going is to split them up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they start. I actually have an opinion on this, but let's hear what Rob Brindamore, and he mentioned earlier today, his thoughts about possibly, if it crosses minds, changing up line combos.
Yeah, you always think about it, but again, that wasn't, we just really haven't had the need to do it. I mean, we got to get some guys going, but so that might, okay, maybe we got to flip things, but everybody else, I like your lines. You said the results have been there, so I'm not going to overreact on really one bad period of hockey here. We got to just, see where, let it materialize a little more, and then obviously you're making adjustments when you have to.
Tim, at what point would you switch it up? At what point would it tell you, all right, during this game today, I gotta break up that top line?
I mean, I don't think there's a time. I think there's a quality.
Okay.
Right? Like if you have, I don't know, 4 or 5 shifts consecutively that are duds, yeah, I think you have to, right? You're at that point. I still want to feed confidence into my guys. And the other hard part is while that line may need to be sparked, some of the other lines are playing really well.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, it takes 2 to tango, right? It takes 2 lines to shuffle if you're going to shuffle lines. So I would be reluctant. However, you got to understand, this thing's done at the latest January 17th. June 17th.
Mm-hmm.
The season is donezo, win or lose, at the latest June 17th. So you can't wait forever.
I think at the end of the first period, you reevaluate. And I think at the latest, the middle of the second period, if it's not going well for the top line, the move that you make, I said this last night during Kane's tailgate. I'll say it again here. The move you make is you move Svetch down with Jankowski and Carrier, and you move Eric Robinson up. Because here's the thing about Eric Robinson, what I think, what might actually just change it just in terms of mindset, is I think you'll put the top line in a little bit more of a meat and potatoes type mindset. Because Eric Robinson, straightforward, direct, he goes to the front of the net, and he obviously has plenty of speed. You don't have to worry about him trying to overhandle the puck or try and make fancy passes. He's straight and direct, which then allows Aho and Jarvis to be themselves in the offensive zone, knowing that there's a guy in the front of the net and they're shooting. They're going to have that depth front presence. Andre, if he plays with Carrier and Jankowski, what are Carrier and Jankowski? Straightforward players, like meat and potatoes, which then Andre, with better matchups against the opposing team's fourth line, is play direct, play straightforward, and just shoot the damn puck. That's it. But like everyone talks about simplifying your game. That kind of move would force them to simplify their game, and I think that might be for the better. Again, give it a period to see how it's going, and if it's not working, I think that's a legit move that you can make.
You would have to then have a watch guard to make sure that fourth line is getting opportunities.
Oh, for sure.
Because, if you lose game 2 and you look back and Svetch hasn't played very much, you're going to feel real like, wow, we didn't lose with our biggest guns firing. You know what I mean? So you have to make
sure. Well, they're not firing. That's the thing.
You can if Svetch isn't on the ice and you lose, I think that's a bigger regret than if Robinson gets more time and you know what I mean? Like,
you could still find time. Obviously, you still keep him on the top power
just
play.
Watch guard it is what I'm saying.
If you want to double shift him, like, hey, a moment, okay, now we're going to put Aho, Jarvis, and Svetch back out there together, then okay. But you have to find a way because Rob wants to roll all 4.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a way to get them going. If they're gripping the stick too tight, they're trying to do too much, they're overpassing, then you have to do it for the better of the team.
Listen, you try anything if things are going poorly enough. But poorly enough would have to be the whatever that threshold is. Because they're good players, and you want to make sure they have their impact on it. And you never know which is the shift that's going to spark them into playing the level of hockey that we all expect them to play. And I don't want it to be like you've stuck with it stability wise this long. They've shuffled up lines once or twice this postseason, just once, and it worked, by the way. But you've stuck with the stability for this long. I get it. Have you seen the meme of the guy that's digging for diamonds and he's turning around and walking away? Meanwhile, there's only a quarter inch of dirt between him and like this biggest diamond mine ever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't know how close you are. It'd be a real bummer if, the Aho line was one more shift away from being the Aho line that we know and love. And that's when you decided to throw Robinson up there or whatever. So it's a very, very touchy decision to make, but if they play poorly enough, they're going to force you to make it at some point.
And it's hard to split up Stankoven, Hall, and Jackson Blake.
Part.
You can't do that, in all honesty. But it's hard to justify breaking up Stahl, Bartnook, and Ehlers.
That's exactly
what
I was saying.
That's why I say that's the move. If I'm Rob Brindamore, that's the move to make.
And the dumbest thing I'll say all day, it would be a little convenient if one of those lines wasn't in such a rhythm. because then you make the switch and you know that everyone's going to have their opportunities and be playing with a bunch of good dudes.
Yep.
Again, dumbest thing I'll say today, but with some reverse logic, it makes just a little bit of sense. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. I can tell you, I'll prove this today on the to our YouTube audience on our live stream. I'm a bit of a sweater, you know what I mean? When things get hot, you'll start to see the perspiration, and with that, Maynard Service Company becomes one of my best friends, because when it's hot outside, I need my air conditioner working. I need that cooling system to be on point, and they take care of just that. But not just that. Heating systems, cooling systems, plumbing, electrical work, whatever you need done, whatever is your specifics, right? If you like long showers, you need that a long ability to have hot water. If you are somebody that is electronics whiz and you have power strips into every single outlet in your house, I don't know, it might be a fire hazard, but you want the juice, Maynard Service Company can take care of that as well. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, whatever is going on with your home, give them a call. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. We'll be right back with the Dean's List. Don't go anywhere.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you. Like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-960-3377. That's 800-960-3377. 800-960-3377.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are live.
All right, I like it.
At the location for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Canes, Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas leads the series 1-0. Still a lot of hockey left to be played. And as we can point out now, do you know what's kind of nice? Just because some news came across my my Twitter feed during that commercial break.
Yeah.
Canes are still playing, which means you don't have to get into all the drama of the offseason, like, you know, players like Dylan Larkin making trade requests from Detroit. You get to kick all of the drama, all of the offseason noise into the future when you're the Carolina Hurricanes, because you are still playing hockey June 4th. A lot of teams would love to be in that situation. With that being said, we will take just a quick hiatus from the Canes talk, the hockey talk, to talk a little college sports and something we call the Dean's List. All right, class is in session. For the second straight day, we have news of a major college sporting event that has been scheduled and hyped up by one of the Triangle teams. changing locations.
Oh, yeah?
Yesterday, the news was that NC State versus Virginia football, which was scheduled and hyped up to be played in Brazil, will be played in Charlottesville. Yesterday, CBS Sports had the report first, at least as I saw it. Duke basketball makes the dean's list for a location change. Now, Duke, Michigan is part of that Amazon trifecta of games that they're getting paid, and it's going to be a special broadcast and all that. It was initially announced for Madison Square Garden. That's a pretty good location, right? Madison Square Garden. CBS reports it is being moved. The teams are finalizing plans to play at the home of Miami, but not the Miami you're thinking of.
Okay.
The Miami Marlins.
Oh, really?
They are scheduled to play. They are finalizing plans, according to CBS, to play Duke, Michigan basketball in a baseball stadium down there in Miami.
So Duke versus Michigan, where the Miami Marlins play?
That is as CBS is reporting.
Okay, hold on. Like, in all seriousness, what are we doing?
We're
like,
going
what the
to
hell
Lone
are we doing?
Depot Park, which does have a retractable roof, I believe, so you can play even if the weather rolls in a little bit. But I assume there will be a boatload of people down there. It was scheduled for Madison Square Garden. We know how people from New York like to go to Miami anyway. So, people same group can have the tickets and they can just fly to their summer homes down there and watch basketball to be played in a Major League Baseball stadium.
Okay. You know what? Whatever you want to do. It's just, I just feel like we're missing the point, of college sports. Like, we're doing so much to try and do like all this like crazy stuff for like money revenue and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sorry, do I want to sit in left field and try and watch a basketball game? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't sound fun as a fan.
The court might be in left field.
Why would you put the court in left field?
Closer to the left field stands.
Okay, like so like that. Like, okay, you're gonna corner yourself. Like,
I think it's unique. I think it's cool. I think it's an experience that players won't have in any other location. And if you make a little money in the process, good on you. The fact of the matter is, this was never going to be like in Cameron. You know what I mean? This was never going to be a home game. These two teams, they wouldn't agree. It was always going to be neutral court. So if it's a cooler neutral court, I'm good with it. I think they make the dean's list for it.
I mean, credit all due to trying something different. I remember when UNC basketball was playing on an aircraft carrier,
and that was before NIL or that was just for love of the game, for putting one on for the troops.
That's just okay. Like, honestly, at this point, let's just go to literally just go to a blacktop court and just broadcast it. Why not?
Oh, if you want to play, what if they're playing? Is UConn one of the other two? You want to play UConn in the Rucker? I'm there for it. I'm not actually there because there's 4 rows of bleachers there. But I'm watching on TV. If they want to play on Rucker Park, Venice Beach, they want to play Gonzaga and Venice Beach, I'm there for that as well.
I mean, we're at that point. Might as well.
What I want to do is have a midnight game in Alaska.
Oh, outdoor?
Outdoor when the sun is there 24 hours a day. Have an outdoor game at midnight in Alaska.
Got to play that at end of this month.
Yeah, I don't know all those times. Sure, play it at the end of this month. That's fine. Exhibition. More Dean's List for all of you out there. How about Antoine Jameson?
Yeah.
He's going to be a siren sounder today for the Carolina Hurricanes. But also, because everything's a rivalry, Con Knipple was a siren sounder for Game 1. Canes lose. Antoine Jameson, Carolina guy, siren sounder for Game 2. If they win, I think that's grounds for a good rivalry trash talk.
Might be.
I think that is completely fair.
Unless they both lose, and State fans will be like, look what y'all did.
And then, then you need to get a State guy out there for hopefully Game 5. Because if they lose, then you got to start worrying about if Game 5 is necessary. But still, Antoine Jameson, that's got to be fun. Get out there.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Stahl liked it so much he did it twice.
That's right, he did.
Because he thought everybody was watching me crank the siren. Turns out it hadn't even started yet. So he basically got an audition or a rehearsal and then cranked it back up a few minutes later.
Dan Morgan, Panthers GM, also supposed to maybe one of the siren sounders today.
Speaking of Miami. More Deans. Do you have some Deans lists?
I don't, actually.
Okay. I'm putting Duke basketball here for a different reason.
Okay.
But also, maybe the Chicken Little people would be on the opposite of Dean's List. I'll explain. So kind of post-transfer portal, right? We know where all the players are going. We know, for the most part, even where the European guys are going. And we're also post-NBA draft declaration. So there's no big surprises of guys that were expected to go pro coming back. ESPN updated their college basketball rankings, called it the way too early top 25. I'm going to give you the top 5.
Oh, okay.
Number 1, Florida.
Okay.
Number 2, Duke.
Makes sense.
Number 3, Michigan.
Okay.
Number 4, Illinois.
All right.
Number 5, UConn. So much for all that transfer portal and NIL making blue bloods not as impactful anymore, right? And anybody can win, and the blue bloods don't matter, the brands don't matter. Right now, their top 5 includes 3 from the Final Four last year.
Yeah.
And the other 2 were from the Final Four the year before.
Including a national champion in Florida.
Including each of the last 2 national champions. And the other, right, the one that wasn't in the Final Four this year is Duke basketball.
Oh, no.
Exactly. It's what we're learning about college sports is that brands still matter. There's just a step in between. You have to go convert your brand and fame and popularity into money, and then the money is what drives winning. But the brands still matter, right? Right when NIL was new, right when NIL was fresh, and it was just who has the most rich donors, it kind of evened out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But even the richest donors aren't given $20 million a year in perpetuity, right? They're not just giving you a blank check every year. So as they get a little less often, those gigantic donations, it's going to come down to who's running the best business, right? It's going to come down to who can make the most money off their program. And the groups that are going to make the most money are the ones that are most popular, are the ones that are the most historic, are the ones that sell the most merch and are watched on TV the most and can make the most off their YouTube channels and everything else. And sure enough, it's going to end up being Duke, Carolina, UConn, Kentucky, Michigan, Florida, right? All these teams that have won national champions and national championships in the past. So as the rosters are put together, the top 5, a lot of the same top 5 we've been looking at the last 2 years. And Duke is amongst them because they're willing to play basketball games in baseball stadiums if that's what Amazon wants.
That's what they are. That's what they're doing. So, by the way, speaking of the NIL and all that kind of stuff, and I remember, go back to 2023, the NCAA tournament.
The good old days.
The 2023 NCAA tournament. This is when everyone at first thought, well, with NIL, since everyone can pay players now, anyone's going to be able to win. Because remember that Final Four, it was San Diego State, FAU, Miami, UConn. People are like, oh, wait a second. Here we have a UConn traditional power, I guess you could say in that regard. But San Diego State, they're able to get to a Final Four. FAU's able to get to a Final Four. Miami has a 5 seed. Look, they're able to get to a Final Four. A team that traditionally doesn't get there. I know they're coming from the ACC, but that's a team that's not a blue blood. And then all of a sudden, what's it back to once again? It's UConn, who's still there, but it's Duke, it's Michigan, it's all these other blue blood programs that you're going to see. And it's funny how it all shifted right back. It all shifted right back because everyone said look, NIL, all these schools could potentially win it now. Those schools aren't going anywhere. They're not.
I mean, I really do think it just took some time for every team's rich donor to get tired of cutting gigantic checks. And now it's going to go back to, can you actually make the money and make it sustainable? Because just going to rich people and saying, can we have all your money? It worked for a couple years.
Yeah.
It's not going to work forever.
No.
Even, rich people didn't get rich by just cutting checks to anybody that asks. They need to see return on their investment. So what's much more likely is, sell a jersey and get $12 for every jersey and just sell 1 million of them. And then you got $12 million. That's how you can sustainably build a program. And that's what the good ones are going to do. And for that, let's dismiss the Dean's List. We have one of the most asked questions for Game 2 Stanley Cup Final coming up next.
Oh, yeah?
Is it a must-win game for the Carolina Hurricanes? But before we can answer that, you need to hear this from Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. I know it's a hot day outside. Everyone's feeling that. You might be coming to a tailgate, enjoying some outdoor activities and stuff. It's a hot time outside. And I know as a motorcycle rider, when we're riding down the road, obviously we're out in the heat. We don't have air conditioning or things along those lines. But just because it's hot doesn't mean you shouldn't wear the proper equipment when you're out there on the bike. I know it's tempting just to have a T-shirt on. I know I've seen some people even ride around in shorts before, but there are clothing. There is gear out there that is protective for you and still works well in the hot days. There's plenty of weather resistant gear that you can buy, protective gear. I have stuff that when I'm riding on my motorcycle on hot days that you still feel the airflow through you, but you still have all the armor to protect you as well. So if you are injured in it, if you are involved in an accident, you can protect yourself as best as possible. Don't sacrifice the protection just because it's warm outside. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW Tigers even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW Tigers, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan asks, is today a must-win game for the Carolina Hurricanes? Next.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. The United States is trading around 50% to beat Paraguay, meaning a $100 trade pays out at around $200 if the USA can get the win. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus, restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Together live. Clint Black and Midland.
People say I gotta drink it.
Live in concert, 8 nights only.
I'm leaving.
Playing Deepak, Friday, October 23rd. Tradition turned up loud.
Walking in the moonlight.
On sale Friday 10 a.m. at deepaknc.com. Deepak, presented by First Horizon. Experience live.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I can tell you this, if you were out here for game 1 and you plan on making it out here, we're live outside the Lenovo Center for game 2. It's a little toastier, all right? A little less breeze. I think the temperature is actually up a little bit. So, maybe bring some shorts and then have some pants in the car to change into right before you go into the arena if you're going into the game. Just prepare. By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So bring some extra water, bring a change of clothes, be ready to attack both the tailgate and the game. And you might need a different group of supplies to do so. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, Dennis, let's get to the nitty-gritty of it.
Yep.
We have 3 hours and 15 minutes more of the show. I don't know if there's a more important question I could ask you. Is today a must-win for the Carolina Hurricanes?
Yes.
Now, let me just give you. I'll go full Regis before we make it your final answer. For those of you that are of a certain age and remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yep.
I do not take must-win lightly. To me, there has to be quite a bit of legit changing of the outcome. Like, there's never been a must-win game in the first month of an NHL season. Must win is not just, I'd really like them to win. If you say must win, for this situation probably means they are not winning the series. Like, is it that obvious that they have to win today, or you're playing for pride the rest of the way and just don't want to get swept?
If you fall behind 0-2, then have to go on the road to Vegas, where you have to win 4 of the next 5 games, 3 of those games being on the road, yeah, it's must win. It's must win, because I'm curious what the odds are if you're 1-1. Here's the thing. If Carolina splits here at home and they split in Vegas, you're 2-2 coming back with 2 of the final 3 games at home. I like my odds. I like my odds a hell of a lot more than trying to have to go win 2 straight on the road just to get back here 2-2 if you lose tonight. So, yeah, must win. I've never liked the adage of, well, it's never a must-win game until you face elimination. It's must win.
No, it's never a conversation about, is it a must win when you're facing elimination? Of course, that's a must win.
Of course, but some people say that's the only time it's ever a must win game is when you're facing elimination. I'm like, no, treat this as a must win game. I know the series doesn't end, but as you mentioned before, teams that go up 2-0 win the Stanley Cup 91% of the time.
And that includes teams that lose both 1 and 2 on the road, and then are returning home. So I don't have the splits in front of me for what that would be if you're 0-2 at home, and then have to go on the road. I assume that's worse.
I don't like the odds either way. Now, you can go full Han Solo and never tell me the odds, but to me, this game is must win. Just like I thought Game 2 against Montreal was must win. They had to win that game. If they fell behind 0-2 against Montreal, I don't know if we're sitting here today. They have to get a win today, in my opinion.
I look at it like this. We talk about the Carolina Hurricanes culture all the time, right? The people in the room, how every person has to fit, how every person wants to be there, how every person has to understand what they're asking them and try hard and work hard. What's the point of having all that culture if you don't win today's game?
Yeah.
What's the point of having all those guys that are, in unwavering support of each other? What's the point of having everybody that understands that, a loss doesn't define them and they have to dig deeper? What's the point of having all that if you don't win Game 2 of the Stanley Cup final after dropping Game 1, which, by the way, it wasn't a horrendous loss, but it slipped through your fingers. You had multiple chances to win that game, and you're up 2-0. All right. And then from then on, even there were 3 or 4 plays that if you make, that entire outcome is different. So, this is the game where that needs to prove true. This is the game where all of that needs to not just be talk. It needs to be fact that when the time gets tough, when the going gets tough, the Canes get going. But I also want to emphasize this. This is the biggest game the Canes have played since Game 7 in 2006, right? It is the furthest along into a Stanley Cup final. It is backs against the wall in a lot of ways. Nostalgia makes it seem like that team was a rocket that was never to be denied, right? That team was just a steamroller. No, they were up 3-1 in the series and needed Game 7 to close it out, right? When you're up 3-1 and you go to Game 7, I'm sure everybody in the world, in the media world, and I wasn't in the media world at that time, but was talking about all the momentum that Edmonton has and all of the they discovered something, they figured it out, and this, that, and the other. Yet you bowed your neck, you fought back, and you won Game 7. So there are plenty of examples throughout sports of teams being in this situation or more dire situations and fighting all the way back. But the reason why those teams fought all the way back is because they would treat this game as a must-win.
Yeah.
Right? Because the reason why they would fight all the way back is because their core, their DNA was the type that would do absolutely everything they possibly could to win Game 2. Because that's the game that's staring them in the face here today.
Well, I remember a couple years ago when Edmonton fell behind 0-3 to Florida, and they battled all the way back to force a Game 7. So I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but I'm sorry, I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to go down that road, and I guarantee you, neither of the guys in that building behind us right now.
listen, the Carolina Hurricanes are well aware of what they're up against.
Mm-hmm.
They're also well aware that they have worked their entire lives to be in this situation, and they don't want it over quick. You know what I mean? They don't want to get here, be excited, live in their dreams, and suddenly be to the point of desperation. But they are, and now you have to go out and dig your way out of that hole. And then the other thing is all of the stories that we love the most. Let's talk Jordan Staal for a moment. Jordan Staal is a few years older than me, and I've been in solidarity, doing the little playoff beard thing, not shaving till it's over.
Yeah.
Really, for the first time in my life, I'm seeing a lot of grays in the old beard ski.
Oh yeah.
And that's a real sign of getting a little older, right? Real sign of being at a different stage of your life. Jordan Staal doesn't have a million of these runs left. Taylor Hall doesn't have a million of these runs left. Freddie Anderson doesn't have a million of these runs left. It is kind of like senior year stuff where you're looking around looking at the freshmen, right? Looking at Jackson Blake, looking at Logan Stankoven and going, I know it feels like you're going to have 1,000 tries at this. I might only have one more. I might only have one or two more. Let's make sure we don't squander this chance. And you want to know the real cold glass of water to the face?
Mm-hmm.
You might only have one or two more too.
Oh, this isn't a guarantee.
That's what I mean. I know the Canes have made it look like you're going to be a competitor every year because they have been for the last 5 years. There's no guarantee, one injury, one departure, one, bad run and whatever it is. There's no guarantees. It feels like you're going to be back here every single year. You're not. And that much is for darn sure.
Jackson Blake has been to a conference final as many times as Taylor Hall has. Logan Stankoven has been to more than Taylor Hall has.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They've both been to the final for the exact same amount of time. When was Taylor Hall drafted? 2010?
Yeah.
This isn't a guarantee. And
Alexander Nikishin is a rookie. He's been to 2.
Yeah, I know exactly. He's played in 2, and he's literally been in the country for about 11 or for about 13 months, and he's been to as many cup final or conference finals as Taylor Hall has. So that's the thing. I mean, how long has it been? It was 2009 when Jordan Staal won a cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was 6,202 days between goals scored in the cup final for Jordan Staal when he scored in game 1. Again, this is never, ever a given. As much as you think you're as good as your team is, it's just simply not a guarantee.
You ready for a fun fact?
Yes.
Jordan Staal, 16 years, 358 days between goals scored in a Stanley Cup final. That is the all-time record. Do you know whose record he broke?
Whose?
Eric Staal.
There you go.
By 4 days. 4 days is the difference between the 16 years, 358 days between Jordan Staal's cup goals and 16 years, 354 days between Eric Staal goals. That's pretty wild. That's the two brothers. They just take long breaks between their Stanley Cups. Which, by the way, if you were born the day Jordan Staal scored his last Stanley Cup final goal,
yeah,
you'd be a rising high school senior by the time he scored his next one.
Golly.
It's just to show the passage of time.
Imagine, I'm a 4-star basketball player, going into my senior year of high school. Yeah, it's funny. That guy I'm watching play hockey right now scored a goal when I was born.
And he just scored another one 2 nights ago.
Just scored another. Gosh, that's
none in
kind of
between.
wild. By the way, Rob Brindamore this morning was actually asked about, understanding the players understanding the level they need to play. And if Max, we can go to that fourth cut there of Rob Brindamore talking, because Rob was asked about it after losing game 1, hey, do you have a little bit more sense of urgency? Tell your players what's at stake and so forth. And Rod said this morning, his players know the level they need to play.
I don't need to be saying stuff like that. That's obvious. Our guys know. I mean, we're not a team this is new to, even though we haven't been to this point. I mean, we understand the stakes, and we know if we're going to win, we have to be better than we were the other night. That's that simple. And then, again, it wasn't that bad. We were a shot away. We were right there too. It's just there was some errors that you can't have, and that's not typical of our group. So we got to try to eliminate those.
I love a good sports movie analogy. This is going deep cut here.
Okay.
But it's got one of your guys in it, so maybe it's one of your movies.
Go on.
Do you remember the movie Gridiron Gang?
Oh, yeah.
Starring The Rock
and
Exhibit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There is a scene in the big game, and then, this isn't It's a movie. Remember that. Big game, right? Big football game. They're the coaches. And Exhibit goes into like the coach's office, right? Players are in the locker room. It's halftime. They just got their butts kicked in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit, yes, the old host of Pin My Ride, looks at The Rock, who is the head coach, and goes like, what are you going to tell him? How are you going to get him going? They're ready. And he knows, like, I don't have to say anything to them.
Yep.
They're ready. And they wait until eventually the players start talking. They get themselves going. They start doing the cleats on the ground, stomping their feet. They get rolling. Coach walks out there, and I think it's some version of let's go kick their bleep. He just yells it, and they run. And they run out of their locker room and onto the field. I feel like Rod's given some of those vibes where people are talking about all this big motivational stuff, the stuff we're talking about. Is it must win? Is it now or never? Is it this? And he's just going, they're ready.
Yep.
I don't have to say it to them. They know they're ready. And then he's just going to walk into that locker room, yell some form of, kick their bleep, and out onto the ice they go. That's for a game like this, if you need to be reminded of what's at stake, you were never going to win from the jump, right? These players know what's on the line. They're going to go do their best. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have football at 4 coming up next. And yes, as always, when we're outside the Lenovo Center for a Carolina Hurricanes game, we'll relate it to the Canes. But we'll talk Panthers as well coming up.
A bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Definitely a hotter afternoon with highs in the upper 80s to around 90, but our humidity does remain low. If you're headed out to any of the watch parties or festivities surrounding Game 2 of the Stanley Cup, it'll feel hotter, but not humid. 59 overnight tonight and mainly clear. We climb to 92 for Friday, and highs are in the mid-90s this weekend.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 875 points to 51,562. Market update brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, we are live outside the Lenovo Center, getting ready for Game 2. I believe, Dennis, correct me if I'm wrong here.
Okay.
The lots would have just opened up. It's 4 o'clock opening
It's
for
4
the
o'clock.
lots. So if you're making your way in here to Tailgate, first of all, how awesome is your day, right? It's middle of the afternoon on Thursday. You're already getting ready for a Stanley Cup final. That's about as good as you could hope for. So credit to you. And also stop by and say hi. We're here. We're hanging out. You can see us pretty much right under the scoreboard for Carter Finley Stadium across the way from the Lenovo Center. If you walk towards the stage where Dan and Shay are going to be playing, you're kind of in the right area for us, right? Just as far as cardinal direction of the stadium lots. And then, jump in the bounce houses, do the whole thing. At 4 o'clock here, and maybe appropriately because we're kind of in a football stadium parking lot here.
That we are.
We talk football at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm reversing some things here, Dennis.
Okay.
Traditionally, when we are outside of a Canes game and we have football at 4, because of what the two franchises are, the Carolina Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes, we are searching for things that the Panthers can look at the Canes and use, right? Things like is the moment you have a really good young player, locking them up to a long-term contract because it will age well, like Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake, and on and on and on and on. Things like picking the one guy who you want to be the character of your franchise and building around him, like Rod Brindamore. And how can the Panthers, even in a different sport, use some of these ideologies to build and be as successful as the Canes? But in our reversal for today, I want to bring this up. What can the Canes learn from the Panthers? And obviously you're not going to be like, well, third down coverage.
Of course.
But one of the things that I think they should look at is making a Stanley Cup final is an accomplishment.
It is. It absolutely is.
It is not easy. It is something that will be celebrated. It is something that years into the future you can still look back on with pride. But I also want you to know that if you make it this far and fall short, there will be things that haunt you forever. The high water mark in the history of the Carolina Panthers is making the Super Bowl twice. Those are the two best teams in franchise history, right? The Cam Newton MVP year and all the way back with the Delhomme against the Patriots era. Those are like, they don't have the 06 Cup team, right? It's not like they can lean back and go, hey, remember 96 when we won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have that. So when you think of the 2015 Cam Newton era Panthers, there's a lot to celebrate, right? There's a lot of highlights and pictures and all of these things that you remember fondly, but there's also Cam Newton not jumping on a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You go back to the Delhomme year. There's Steve Smith catching a touchdown. There's all of this good stuff. There's Dan Morgan breaking tackle records. There's also Tom Brady marching him down the field for the game-winning field goal, even with, on that game-winning drive, an offensive pass interference against Deion Branch that they pick up the first down anyway on 2 completions on the next 2 plays. So looking at this, it's fun, right? And for fans, you got a Stanley Cup final in your own backyard.
Enjoy it.
It's fun.
Enjoy it.
It's exciting. I would say for most of history, you look back on teams that make the championship and you're like, gosh, what a good team. What a highlight for the franchise. But also be aware, right? Like, if there's a player or two here that costs you a win or, gosh forbid, cost you a series, those are going to be equally as remembered, right? So leave no stone unturned. Sell out for every block, right? We'll go to the Cam Newton fumble recovery. Let's be real. Would have hurt. You know what I mean? Like you any quarterback out there, and I played college, didn't play anything like the NFL, definitely didn't play against the Denver Broncos and that defense.
Yeah.
But when
and Von Miller chasing,
when that ball is on the ground and you see their jerseys flying at it and you're the one that can jump on it, as you jump on that ball, you're aware, like, this could be a broken rib.
Yep.
This could be a separated shoulder. This could be, you're not thinking like that specific. You're mostly just thinking, oh, like this is going to hurt. But you have to do it anyway, right? I'll look at game 1. I don't think he was trying to block the shot, but Mitch Marner taking as everything that Alexander Nikishin had to offer in that slap shot right off to like what looked like the tip of the kneecap.
Yeah. Right on the inside of the knee.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could see it on his face. That's going to hurt. But if he didn't do that and Hart wasn't able to make the save behind him and the Canes win in overtime, the rest of his life, he would have been looking at that play going, man, if I just gave up my body for the team right there, we could have won game one. And who knows how that changes history. So, yeah. Shane Gostisbehere the heck out of the block shot, you know what I mean, from last series where you just completely give up your body and got an assist out of it. Like don't allow yourself to have those types of regrets that really could only come in a championship game. I didn't even play in the game, but as somebody that lost an FCS national championship as a backup quarterback, I can tell you, I won't say names, 3 or 4 pretty good friends of mine have plays that I'm sure to this day, occasionally they wake up in a cold sweat and like the ball is in the air coming their direction. And, you know, every single time it ends the same way, which is, either somebody jumping in front of them and making the interception or the ball bouncing off their hands or whatever it is. And that athletics are one of those things you never really get a chance to get that back. You hope you do. But you know, your clock is ticking on your athletic mortality already. So the thing that the Canes can learn is what you're doing right now is great. Your fans will enjoy it. Dennis, you got the Stanley Cup final gear on.
Yeah, I do.
That merch will never go out of style.
Nope.
Like it's all there. But you will be haunted by the fact you got this close if you aren't able to complete the job, if you aren't able to finish it. So unless you want to be played on replay, I mean, you're on social media just like I am. How many times do you talk about the Panthers and there's some fan of another team saying something about like, and Cam Newton didn't jump on the fumble.
Oh yeah, that stuff still happens.
Or the screenshot of him doing the little hesitation. Like that stuff doesn't go away either. You are, you said you're going to Hamilton this weekend?
Yeah.
History has its eyes on you.
Yeah, it does.
In this game. Way more so than any other game you've probably played in your entire life, unless you're one of the very few Canes that have played in other Stanley Cup Finals games.
The last thing you want to say after this series is what if.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last thing you want to ever say is what if. Well, what if I did? What if this happened? What if I did? Just eliminate it. Eliminate it. Hey, you know what? I went for it.
I was going to say, and
I went for it.
It's not don't make a bad play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bad plays happen. It's hockey. You're not going to play an entire game perfect. It's not, you're not going to play an entire game perfect. You're not going to make no mistakes, but old school coaching, if you're going to make a mistake on 110%.
Yeah.
Right. Don't make a mistake because you were tired and you couldn't fight through. Don't make a mistake because you were being, selfish, or don't make a mistake because you thought you could take a shortcut. If you make them, basically make Vegas beat you if they're going to beat you. You're going to win, you're going to lose. It is what it is, but you will 100%, be able to put your head on your pillow at night and rest peacefully if you lay it all out there on the ice.
Go back to the Cam Newton from the 2015-2016 Super Bowl. If he goes for it and he doesn't come up with it, at least you went for it. Like, that's the thing. Like, at least you went for it.
100%.
It's one of those things. I dove for it. The ball, because that ball's not round, doesn't sit flat. That ball popped away. Okay, but you went for it. You just didn't recover it, but at least you went for it. It's that kind of thing. You don't want to have that regret of saying, "Wow, maybe I should have gone for it." You're going to go for it, and it's the right play to go for it. And you're so sometimes going to fail. Sometimes you're so going to fall short. But at least I can live with myself knowing that I went for it.
Now let's put it in Canes game one kind of thought process.
Yeah.
Seth Jarvis has a great look, doesn't take it, passes it up.
That was in the second period, yeah.
I think that will haunt him significantly more than the shot later in the game where he had a great look, let it fly. Carter Hart made a nice save.
Yeah, a great save.
Like that's, to me, you can live with the second, right? You did what you had to do. You put a good run on it. Opposing team made a play. You tip your cap. You got to learn to be okay with that one. Passing up the opportunity, being a little hesitant, those are the ones that I think are going to haunt you much further in life if this series doesn't turn out the way you hope it does. And there's still plenty of time for it to turn out the way you hope it does. So learn from the Panthers, essentially. Don't have tremendous regrets that may have cost you a championship.
Yeah.
How you like
don't
me now.
do that.
And also don't play against Tom Brady. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's a little football at 4 action for you. But as always, we will not be far from hockey talk today because Carolina Hurricanes about to play Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. We have a Cup check-in coming up. We have another edition of HurriCons and Cons. But before that, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Something I'm going to reiterate is something I said earlier, and I can't emphasize this enough. I see too many motorcycle riders out there, and I say this as someone who rides a motorcycle. I see too many people out there riding a motorcycle that don't wear the proper gear, no matter what the weather is. I understand on days like today, it's hot. And trust me, getting on a motorcycle on hot days like today, it can be a little rough. By the way, if you're going to ride around on a motorcycle in hot weather, make sure you're hydrated well before you get on your bike. Make sure you build in some stops to rest and rehydrate. But make sure you're still wearing the proper gear to protect yourself. There's plenty of clothing out there that you can wear that has all the armor and protection that you need, but is also very breathable for the hot days. Just like they have cold weather gear for you to wear when you're riding your motorcycle in cooler temperatures. Same thing still applies. Don't sacrifice protection just because it's hot outside. Make sure you're doing the right thing no matter what the temperature is. That way you are as safe as you can be out there on the road. You can do everything safe out there on the road, and accidents can still happen. This is why you got to give Law Tigers that call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're there to fight for you. They're part of the motorcycle riding community, and there are people from the motorcycle riding community that built Law Tigers. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. More from outside the Lenovo Center ahead of Game 2 Stanley Cup Final action. Stick around.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina, Stanley Cup Final Edition. It's Game 2 with Vegas.
He scores! Nikolai Ehlers, 2 for 2, my friend!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck Drop at 8.
Now Hannafin gives it away. A chance shot. They score! The captain! Jordan Stahl ties it at 3!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
When you own your own business, you own every decision.
Catch the red eye or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with a toast at the gate or unwind at the lounge. Big props to this team.
Some decisions are a win-win, like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sells Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. A lot of people have work to do on their homes. They need a roof. They want windows, siding. You guys do everything. But people are also, I'm not sure I can afford it. The Aluminum Company is a great place to go. Tell us why.
Well, tons of times I'll go out to people's houses and they're thinking about doing a bunch of home improvements at once. Siding, roofing, windows are a big package, right? And the first thing they think of is, well, I'm going to need to go get an equity line or a second mortgage. One of the things we have is tons of financing options where you don't even need to go to your bank. We can do that in-house for you and run payment options for you. And lots of times the financing that we offer is a better percentage rating than you can get from your bank, and you don't have to go through all that mess to get to it.
I like that. Also, is there 12 months Zero interest?
12 months, zero interest, zero payments for 12 months.
Zero payments and zero interest at the same time for 12 months.
That is correct.
That is a double header right there. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online, aluminumcompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, here outside the Lenovo Center, where the action is just starting to heat up. The weather is already heated up.
Oh, yeah.
But the action will really get underway about 3 hours and 45 minutes from now when the Canes host Vegas for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. But as everybody makes their way in here, the lot's been open for about 15 minutes. We have a special treat for some of you if you're able to make your way out to our tent.
We do. So come out to our tent. Again, just look for the Raleighwood area. It's right there next to the Carter Finley scoreboard. Just walk through the red gate. You'll see our tent. Come in, say hello to us. But our good friends over at Triangle Trading Cards, located out there in Cary, they got packs of cards I hear that they were giving away. So swing on by the tent. Packs of cards being given away. Just come grab one. Triangle Trading Cards, big shout outs to them for supplying the cards and everything. Located out in Cary. We got hockey packs of trading cards that they're out here. Just so come out here, grab a pack, rip it open, see what you got. Last game we were giving away some packs. I even saw kids like trading, like, oh, you have a Slavin? Oh, I have a Svechnikov. Like, wait, Slavin's my favorite player. Well, Svech is my favorite player. You want to trade? Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's trade. Boom, trading right there. It happened like literally right in front of where we're sitting right now. So big shout out to Triangle Trading Cards. Come on, swing by our tent. They're giving away packs while supplies last.
Have you heard the saying that great competitors love to win, but that pales in comparison to how much they hate to lose?
Yeah.
We also saw a youngster get a pack of cards, ripped it, saw a Golden Knight, and immediately was like, I can't have this in my collection.
They tried to give it back to
They were trying to return it. I think it ended up in the trash.
Yeah.
But it was like as excited as they were to get like a Kane or, a player that once played for the Canes, they were equally as just furious to get Golden Knights, which I respect.
Who's this Aiden Hill jabroni? He's a backup goalie. Poof, get him out of here.
I absolutely respect it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Stop out, grab some cards, rip them open with the kids, have a good time with it. And stick around right now for somebody you may have heard of. If you have a card of this guy, it could be him hoisting the cup. I don't know. His name's Rod Brindamore. And the reason why I bring him up is because he is our cup check-in for the day. Our cup check-in is served up by Carolina Ale House. Adam Gold talked with, as you heard me say, head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. Let's give it a listen. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So before the break, we did talk about the packs of cards we're giving away here.
Yeah.
We were just informed the pack that Dennis has in his hands right now, if you're watching on YouTube, just came out yesterday.
Yep.
So they are like the brand new this year, new hotness, which means the first cards that have Nikolai Ehlers, Keandre Miller in a Carolina Hurricanes uniform.
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes sweater. So that's I mean, fresh hot off the press.
See, there's a Brandon Bussey in here.
I wouldn't see why not.
That'd be awesome.
But also, I mean, after Ehlers scores 2 in game 1, I have a feeling some people might be interested in that one. Also, we updated you earlier. The siren sounders today.
Oh,
we had already talked about Antoine Jameson.
That's right.
We had already talked about Dan Morgan.
We did.
They're going to handle the intermissions.
Okay.
The Canes are not starting slow.
Hey, who sets the tone?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. All
Cam
right.
Ward sets the tone. And listen, sometimes you need some of that. Sometimes you need to reach back and bring some of that touch. I hear what Paul says. The Titans quarterback.
Yes. ACC legend Cam Ward.
The Cam Ward that we care about actually put out a hilarious video when the Cam Ward that is the Titans quarterback was drafted.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, NHL legend, Canes legend, goalie Cam Ward, it recorded himself watching the NFL draft. And when it goes, ding, 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 with the next pick, they select Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami Hurricanes. He flipped to his face and was like, me? Did I just get drafted in the NFL draft? It was a funny line. But the picture that the Canes put out, he's hoisting the cup high above his head way back in 2006. Then they have Anton Jameson and Dan Morgan as the other siren sounders. So what I like about that, something for everybody.
There's a little something for everybody.
A little variety, a little mixture, a potpourri, if you will. So whatever you're into, they'll be sounding the siren, and I expect all three of them to do a pretty good job. Get the people going. You know what I mean? Eric Stahl did pretty well. Going back not that long ago, Luke Kuechly did pretty well. Need those guys to keep up the energy. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It would be funny, though, if Cam Ward, the goalie, walked out there and Cam Ward, the Titan, was with him.
That actually would be good.
Like, actually, we both got the invitation, so we're just going to do this one together.
Spider-Man pointing meme.
They should, but I don't know. He might be busy, OTA, something like that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, Game 2, we need to hit some HurriCons and Cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
As always, you can participate in HurriCons and Cons by heading to our YouTube live stream. Jump in the comments, that live chat. Let us know, what are you most confident about, HurriConfident about, and what are you most HurriConcerned about when it comes to Game 2, the game that's going to be played right here on 99.9 The Fan later tonight. Dennis, as always, I got good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You always take the bad news. Start with your concern.
My concern right now is special teams as a whole, because if there's a team out there that I feel can actually crack the penalty kill for the Carolina Hurricanes, it's the Vegas Golden Knights. And also because of the top line struggles, a lot of that is also due to the struggles of the power play, or a result of the top line struggles as well. They kind of go hand in hand with each other.
When
I know
those guys struggle, both the top line and the power play will struggle.
Exactly. I mean, unless just Taylor Hall and those guys are just straight cooking, but those guys are mostly scoring at 5-on-5. So that's my concern, is that Vegas, in my opinion, has a group that can beat them, at least be consistently generating high danger scoring chances against the Canes power play. Against the Canes penalty kill. And I don't think that the Canes power play right now is up to snuff in order to keep that pace if that dam does break for Vegas in terms of a goal scoring category. But you never know. One game, it all can flip.
The Canes were, and especially post the decision to put Jordan Stahl out there for faceoffs on the power play, they were one of the best power play teams in the league this year.
Were.
They are 7 for 58 in the postseason.
That is not great.
Which has been masked a bit by what you talked about, how good their penalty kill has been. So they haven't necessarily been losing the special teams battle. The special teams battle has just been a pitcher's duel. It's been exceptionally low scoring on both sides, which has made it palatable. If Vegas can, as you said, crack the penalty kill a little bit, find the holes in their defense, the power play is going to have to get going. And, you talked about line changes earlier on. Maybe you if you're going to keep the the 5-on-5 lines intact, maybe you throw the power play 2 unit out there first a time or two.
Yeah.
Maybe you give an Alexander Nikishin a chance to get out there and mix it up. Maybe there's something you can do to find a spark on the power play if you're not going to go search for that spark in the traditional 5-on-5.
Might be.
My concern, goalie.
Goaltending.
Which, by as much as we say it's not on Freddie, that goal's not on Freddie, the save percentage wasn't great in game 1.
No, it wasn't.
So there's room for improvement there. Obviously, this has something to do with, by the way, there's an addendum to this. I've said it a long time. I'm not superstitious, but I respect your superstition.
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago, it was actually during the end of the regular season, somebody came up to me and said, we were out here it was game 1 of the postseason or game 2 of the postseason, whenever we were out here first. And they said, whenever your goalie is not your concern, they play bad. So, meaning the goalies. So I've kept them in concern ever since. Freddie's made it true ever since. So I'm keeping it rolling. Secondarily, as far as respecting your superstition, when we were sitting here for game 1, I said I felt naked because I didn't have the red watch that I had picked out for the Carolina Hurricanes postseason. And then yesterday on the show, somebody wrote in and said the loss was my fault because I didn't have the power. I felt naked. I didn't have my Canes watch. If you're on YouTube right now, you'd be surprised how many times I checked before I left the house to make sure this thing was on my wrist. I have my red G-Shock on. It's a Casio for those of you that know that world. But it's on and I'm ready. If it's on me, I've done my part. If game 2 is on me, the superstition is there. So my concern is goalie, and I'm respecting everyone's superstitions. Dennis, what is your confidence going into game 2?
As much as we've talked about the lack of production from the top line, the Canes are still scoring. If you look at the last 3 games, they won 4 goals, 6 goals, and 4 goals. I'm like, well, yeah, they're not producing the way that they should be, for what they're paid. But it's not like the team as a whole isn't scoring. So that's something we have to keep in mind, is that the depth scores, that's my confidence, is that the depth scoring is still there. It hasn't gone away. If you look at game 5 against the Montreal Canadiens, Blake scores, Hall scores, and Stankoven. All 3 of those guys scores. You go into this past game, Ehlers scores twice. Jordan Staal gets a goal. The scoring has been there throughout the lineup. So the depth scoring is still there. Again, the last 3 games, 4 goals, 6 goals. I know one of them is an empty netter, and then another 4. So the scoring production as a whole, it's been there. I think we shouldn't lose sight of that.
Ghost has found his scoring touch recently.
Yeah, he's got 5 points in the last 4 games.
And ironically, if you take away the empty netter, you're not hurting the depth scoring at all. You're taking that away from the top line.
Exactly.
So the depth scoring is still there, regardless of empty netter status. I think that's a good point, right? Part of it is if that top line gets going to 80% of what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
And everything else stays exactly how it is, I really like your chances because obviously Staal line, which by the way, my confidence, the Staal line, Ehlers gets a couple of them. Jordan Staal scores. And anytime you have a line with Staal and Martinook, they're going to bring a certain level of physicality and everything else back in the other direction. So that line is going to be able to do a little bit of everything if they're scoring the way they're scoring. So give Jordan Staal, Jordan Martinook, and Nikolai Ehlers a ton of credit for what they're able to do, right? Give Nikolai Ehlers and Jordan Staal and Jordan Martinook, whatever order you want to put them, a lot of credit for still being a scoring line and not giving up everything else that line is known for. And then obviously you got Jordan Staal in the face-off circle and everything else. It's a complete line right now. And maybe a little recency bias rolling with the group that just scored 3 goals in game 1, but that group scored 3 goals in game 1. It's right there on the surface.
And I think the thing that for the Canes, for what they're doing in terms of what we're asking for the top line, if that trio just combines for 1 goal, if they just combine for 1 goal a game, that's all you're asking from them. Just literally just 1 goal a game, because you're still getting the depth scoring throughout the lineup. Now, if they score 2 or 3 or 4, obviously you're going to take it, but just get 1.
1 goal.
Just go get 1.
And nonstop pressure. And I talk about this a lot in most sports. Nobody is going to score in any sport their career high every game. But what you need to do when you're a best player, when you are a top line, when you're a number one wide receiver, when you're the highest usage guy on your basketball team, is you need to have the threat of going absolutely bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
At all points in time. So the opposing team has to prepare for it, consider it, and do everything, be in position to try to stop it at all points in time. The issue that I have with the top line thus far is there are games where it feels like there's no chance they walk away with 3 goals. I know they're not going to walk away with 3 goals in most games, but you need to have the threat of that of 3 goals in every game, and we just haven't seen it. It did feel Nikolai Ehlers had everybody on edge on like Hattie watch.
Yeah,
like that's how it should feel for a top line. Whether they're getting goals or not, it should feel like ooh they could at any given moment. And there's been stretches where I'm going, just have a good shift.
Yeah,
just please, just give me a little pressure. Just
be in
possess
the offensive end.
Just give me win a faceoff. Right, like don't clear it yourselves. You know what I mean? Like there's some of that going on, and the expectation should be higher for that line. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, let's do some dissecting of first goal scorers here. So you can go into our YouTube live stream comments. Let us know who you think will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period. You can also go to my Twitter at Donnelly Sports. Let us know who you think will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period. I will once again be calling out some of our own employees here. Victoria, who I will let know in an angry worded text message that she has not given me her first goal score prediction yet. But Max has gone Aho in the second. I, for the first time in months, am going someone other than Aho. I'm going Taylor Hall in the first.
Oh, wow. You're switching it up.
I have a rule.
Okay.
If my sandwich tells me things, I listen. We had Penn Station delivered.
Yeah.
And apparently they figured out which order was mine, and they wrote on my sandwich Taylor Hall in the first.
Oh, did they really?
So if my sandwich tells me things, it's like that's the best version of a fortune cookie. Like you have to listen to your sandwich. So it was a delicious chicken parm and Taylor Hall in the first. That's what I'm rolling with. Paul Ihander, back at the studio, keeping us up and running. He went with Jackson Blake in the first. So Paul rolling with the Stankoven line.
Okay.
We do not have Victoria or Adam yet. Adam will be joining our show in the 5 o'clock hour, and he'll make his live. Dennis, who's your first goal score prediction?
I feel like this is a prime opportunity for that second line to come back out hot again.
Okay.
Give me Stankoven in the first. Stankoven in the first period.
Stankoven in the first.
5-on-5 goal.
5-on. Why not? Why not a little 5-on-5?
Yeah, why not a little 5-on-5?
His role is an interesting one because he's like leading them in goal scoring in the playoffs, and he also does very little on special teams.
Yeah, I know.
So he's just out there. He's just out there ham and egging it in 5-on-5. He's just doing it right down the middle. So Logan Stankoven in the first is what you went with?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Stankoven in the first.
What are you seeing on our YouTube live stream comments?
Let's see. We've got someone's being funny and going Brendan Sutter in the first period. That's not very, very funny. But we are seeing even just other people goofing around. Jeff Skinner in the first. Jordan Martinook in the first period. We are seeing also as well a lot early on Andrei Svechnikov and Sebastian Aho. A lot of those guys getting early, as well as we are seeing a lot of people going with Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, Andrei Svechnikov. We are seeing a lot of those right now here in our YouTube live chat for sure.
All right, so I am seeing on Twitter for our first goal scorer predictions. There's 2 categories. I would say one is almost fantasy, but no, I won't say fantasy. I will say extreme optimism, and one is desperation. And that is none are better shown than our first 2 predictions. Our first one comes from Canes Talk. This is the most liked. It says Sebastian Aho, power play goal, first 15 minutes of the period, and then in all caps, he's got to do it.
Yeah.
Our second most liked is from Jeremy. It says Svech in the first on his way to a Hattie.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Like it's going back and forth between like desperation, please, Jarvis. Desperation, please, anyone from the top line. And then this other group that is just... They get rolling. Ehlers with $1 million. Andre with the hat trick. Like there's
floodgates.
There's 2 different ways to react to like a kind of disappointing game one where you felt like you had it and you let it go. One is to maybe get a little desperate. The other to just fight back with unruly optimism of like again. Din says, "Aho gets it rolling." Hockey Mom says, my heart says Aho, my head says Ehlers. Like, there's only two ways to go. Somebody had an AI make a little whole graphic for angry Aho. People know that my favorite Aho is angry Aho. So hopefully he gets angry. He gets mad out there and goes and makes some plays.
We have Tim on our YouTube live chat says Stank over into the first period after the first minute. Frank says Jarvis in the first period. We also have a Chatfield in the first. We have a Slavin in the first. We also have another Taylor Hall in the first period as well, and a Jordan Stahl first period as well. And some people are getting cute going with like Alexander Semin in the second period.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
That's not the game.
Someone said Mitch Marner own goal in the first on a delayed penalty. That's what Chris. I'm not going to lie. I hope that. If that happens.
Sports Center, not top 10.
If that happens, Canes win 5-1 tonight.
Freddie gets a point.
Exactly. Freddie gets a point.
Here's the breakdown. I will accept anything not in the first 35 seconds.
Game
1 of the Montreal series scored in, 33 seconds. You end up losing by a bundle. This past game 1, you score a goal in the first 25 seconds. You end up losing in a heartbreaker. Just wait a minute. Just play as if you're a penalty kill for the first 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Then go score. That's the way I'm looking at it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
We have an Akishin in the first as well.
You know what? We're going to do our two most important Canes later on.
Yeah.
That might be a foreshadowing there.
Okay.
That might be a foreshadowing. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Kalshi. Listen, everybody, the hunt for the Stanley Cup is on, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. Up to this point, every single playoff game, every series, the conference finals, and now every game of the championship series. As of this moment, the Carolina Hurricanes are trading at 41% to win the series. That would mean $100 pays out around $250 if you trade $100 on the Canes to win. But as always, as the game goes on, as the series goes on, those numbers move in real time, and you can buy in and out of your position at any time. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position as it wavers. For a limited time right now, download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces to get $10 when you trade 10. That's KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on anything. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan will be back with a feedback frenzy. What are you saying, largely about the Canes, but about sports in general? Stick around.
One goal.
Let's go, Canes!
Hall coming in. Backhand. Dovership. Blake to the rebound. He scores! Oh, the Hurricanes are just pouring it on.
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Let's go, Canes!
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis. Go get the Giants.
Your official home for the Eastern Conference champion Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan.
It's Men's Health Month. WakeMed Primary Care wants to remind you to schedule your annual checkup. It's important to know your health numbers related to cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight and BMI before it leads to chronic diseases. Focus on your health and preventing disease by building healthy habits and getting that yearly checkup and those screenings that you've been putting off. To schedule your appointment, visit wakemed.org. Once again, that's wakemed.org.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company.
We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come and throw it in and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb and Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb and Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb and Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb and Company, your comfort is our business.
This hour of The Drive presented by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
Welcome back into The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. This is Southern hockey. When you're outside sweating, you're dripping perspiration, and you're getting ready for a hockey game later tonight. People act like that's a problem. I think it's kind of awesome. You get to enjoy the outside. You get to tailgate. You get to have some grilling, some drinks, and then you go inside and enjoy a hockey game. You get the best of both worlds. That is hockey in North Carolina. By the way, it's a good thing because that means you're playing into June when it's hot.
That's what matters.
and you'll make that trade every single time. You know what? Do you know what is making it more difficult for, though? I love when we're sitting out here. I often do like jersey checks where I look around and see what players are most popular, right? What new players maybe have a lot of people sporting them, buying their jerseys. Today, everybody's just rocking the T-shirt and carrying the jersey, so I don't know whose jersey it is because they're going to wait to put the sweater on until they're going inside. So we'll do our best to give you some jersey checks, but I would expect quite a few like draped over the shoulders or in bags being carried around while everybody tries to stay cool.
By the way, we are giving away packs of trading cards courtesy of our friends over at Triangle Trading Cards located out in Cary. They brought us packs of cards, including some packs that literally just came out yesterday. So we gave it to some listeners here during this last break, and they were ripping packs open. Someone got a Jacob Slavin USA card. I was like, that one's a keeper for sure. Absolutely. Someone got a Seth Jarvis card. Someone got a
silver medalist.
Yeah, he's silver medalist. but a USA Jacob Slavin, which I think is like that's definitely a keeper for sure. But someone got a Zach Whitecloud, Vegas Golden Knights. Zach Whitecloud is no longer on the Vegas Golden Knights. He got traded. But
the jersey,
just to be safe anyway,
just the logo.
The woman that got the pack walked over to the trash can sitting to our left and ripped the card up and threw it away.
Hey, loyalty has no bounds.
I respect it.
Loyalty has no bounds. You're for us or you're against us. That's what's going on here. The real question would be if you get a Carrier Golden Knights.
Oh no, you got to keep that.
The logo, but the player. There's. I mean, White Cloud isn't a Golden Knight either.
He's not,
but he once was. Listen, everybody, the cards are still here. We have more to give away. So
we do.
You're out here hanging out, or you will be out here hanging out. Swing by, rip a pack, see if you can't find a cane of a certain level out there in the cards. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Sometimes it's hey, what's in the cards? Literal this time.
Oh yeah.
With that being said, it's time now for one of our favorite segments. It's called a Feedback Frenzy.
All right, so our YouTube live chat is having a lot of fun right now when it comes to our first goal score prediction. A couple of people decided to, you know what, let's just start naming old canes. So we have, like, for example, we have a Jamie McBain first goal score prediction, a Morgan Geeky first goal score prediction, Sergei Samsonov first goal score prediction, all those kinds of things. Someone said, well, what about Noah Hannafin or Dylan Coughlin? What about those guys? No. Someone actually said Mrs. Wolf. So again, anyway, that's just
by any means necessary. However you find the goal for the Carolina Hurricanes, you find the goal for the Carolina Hurricanes.
That's what it takes to win a cup. Those are the sacrifices we are willing to make. But in all seriousness, though, in true feedback fashion here from the Carolina Hurricanes, this one actually comes from Will. Will said this: I don't want to fall behind 2-0 to the Vegas Golden Knights. This is absolutely a must-win game tonight.
Yeah. I mean, not only is it a want, it's a dramatically start changing your expectations if you lose this one. If you are recklessly optimistic still about the Carolina Hurricanes, I think that's fair right now. I actually think it might even be correct. It might be warranted right now. If you drop game 2, and particularly if it's the kind where you drop game 2 and it doesn't appear fluky, like it's not like you dominate possession or anything, it'd be mighty difficult to expect to go to Vegas for games 3 and 4 and not dig yourself a pretty significant hole. So yeah, I mean, as must win as a game can be without being a literal elimination game, I think it's fair to talk about for today's game.
All right, yesterday we had the conversation about how, maybe Carolina shouldn't panic. But this one comes from Heather Westfall. Heather says, got in town for game 2 for this latest episodes. I'd rather them lose game 1, do a video practice, and get back on track like they did in the Eastern Conference Final, then have a so-so game midway through. See you tomorrow. So say, I'd much rather have the bad game 1, bounce back game 2, than having like a game in the middle of the series.
I mean, if you can guarantee me that only one game will be a loss, sure, I'd pick game 1. But the thing you really don't want to have happen is, like, if you lose game 1, you're just opening yourself up for more downward streaks, right? If you play well in games 1 and game 2 and you win and you have a down game 3, you're still up 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just margin of error from this point forward. I want to be clear. I don't think game 1 was a bad game.
No, it wasn't.
That's kind of what I was talking about yesterday with Don't Panic. It was the first game in a 7-game series. And while we do all kind of judge kind of everything looking through the lens of they didn't win the game. But there were quite a few winning hockey plays made. Vegas just made one more. So it's not a panic situation by any means. It is a long series, but it's time to get going now is kind of what I'm looking at. It's time to get going now. And I think everybody would agree with that.
All right, next one here along the same lines. Again, not panicking. This one actually comes from Joseph Dunbar. Have a little advice here for the top line. He says, Joseph says, if I could say something to the team, I'd remind them of how rare it is of making the finals. I tell Aho, Fetch, and Jarvis that since you forgot how to score, you're now all a checking line. So don't concern yourselves with scoring. Just make sure the Knights don't score.
Going full, for those of you that have seen the show Shoresy.
Oh, yeah.
When he's given, I forget the kid's name, but when he's given the motivation to the youngster who's out of town, and he's like, first line, just do anything good, or first quarter, or a period, just do anything good. Hit somebody. Just do anything, right? And then once he does that, intermission, all right, second one, go score. And then the third period, he told him to get into a fight.
Yeah.
But,
Gordie Howe this thing.
Maybe, bring that in a little bit. But I do think there is some logic in that first part, which is, like, don't demand a goal, right?
Yeah.
Demand anything good, right? Each shift, go out there and do something fantastic. A big hit, a great pass, a great solo entry into the zone, do a great board battle. Block a shot. Do something good every shift. Start there. Then once you get a little bit of momentum, all right, now go score. All right, now go hunt a little bit. You got to take it one step at a time. The thing I like, as much as we've talked about for the last 48 hours, the top line needs to be on the score sheet. The top line needs to get going. There is no shot that can score 4 goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is no 5-point goal score that they can go out there and get like all of their averages back way up to where they're supposed to be. You have to do it one good thing at a time. So, I wouldn't necessarily tell them they're a checking line, but I would tell them, go out there, do something right? If it is a great check, go do that. Go put someone into the boards. But there is no, in football, we used to say there's no 21-point touchdown, right? If you're down 14, no matter how hard you work, that next pass is not going to give you the lead. You got to do it one play at a time, one first down at a time. And the same logic is true for the Carolina Hurricanes. It's one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. And you got to take it that kind of way.
Just win the play that's in front of you. That's it. Just go win the play that's in front of you. Now, if you want to get to the extreme here, Tim, I'm talking the extremes because, it's one game. This one comes from Justin Graham. Justin Graham says this. If we, the Canes, if we lose this series and players like Aho and Svechnikov are complete no-shows, it's time to move on. Year after year, particularly those two players are considered to be our top guys. Season after season, they fail to produce. We are so many years into this experiment, and we always say things like Andre has so much potential if he could just unlock it, or I believe Aho can bring his game to another level, but he never does. Let's face it, they are what they are, and it is what it is. How are they any different from Kokoniemi? He has so much potential, and they expect certain things from him being a high draft pick, but they have seemingly moved on from him, and he has been a healthy scratch for nearly the entire season. It's no different in my opinion. Jarvis hasn't been here quite as long, so I'm giving him some grace. But as for the other two players on that line, it's either put up or shut up. You haven't done anything the entire playoffs, but let's see what excuse we will make for them this season.
First of all, it's a lot of writing. I appreciate your effort. That's a lot of the word count up there. Second of all, I'm not going to take the bait and go bash Kokoniemi. We don't have to talk about the ways that he's not the other guys because he's a healthy scratch. Well, we don't have to pile on there. Secondly, I mean, if you want to be frustrated with those guys, that's fair. Okay. This postseason, they have not played up to their own standards of postseason hockey, right? I mean, even if they played 2 rounds, Aho's had 10 or more points for the last 7 years. Mm-hmm. Now they're into their 4th series. He doesn't have 10 or more points. So he's been below his own pace. Svech last year had 8 goals, right? Now, I don't know if it's fair to expect that kind of scoring barrage every single time he makes the postseason. But listen, their contracts are awesome.
Yeah.
They're being paid not as the top guys at their position. So you don't move on from that. You keep that and you continue to build around them. You continue to get better around them. You continue to do that over and over and over again. And yeah, you can give them tough love, which, by the way, I'm sure Rod Brindamore did in film yesterday, and I'm sure he will in the offseason if they don't get it done. But to use a quote from Sebastian Aho's letter in the Tribune 462 days ago, everybody's a loser until they're a winner. Right? That everybody is the one that can't get it done in the postseason until they do, and I still believe those guys will.
Let's not forget, as I say it again, last postseason, when they lost in 5 games in the Eastern Conference Final to Florida, who were the 3 leading goal scorers in the postseason for Carolina? It was Andrei Svechnikov, it was Seth Jarvis, and it was Sebastian Aho. Those 3. So you can't say they haven't produced ever in their careers, but look what this team is when they aren't producing. Anyway.
Yep. So we'll see. By the way, they still might get it done this year. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis has something for you.
Real quick, Dennis Cox here, real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, credit card interest rates, they're now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved, and they saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with 0 out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The starting 5 and an expected appearance from Adam Gold and Walt Ruff in the next hour. Stick around.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina, Stanley Cup Final Edition. It's Game 2 with Vegas.
He scores! Nikolai Ehlers, 2 for 2, my friend!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 8.
Now Hannafin gives it away. A chance shot. They score! The captain! Jordan Staal ties it at 3!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
Bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If you're exhausted, not just tired, but worn down, this message is for you. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Across North Carolina, many people wait months, sometimes over a year, just to start sleep care. That wait isn't normal, and it isn't necessary. At Parkway, most patients are seen within weeks, with virtual consultations and home sleep studies that remove unnecessary delays. Sleep care shouldn't have to depend on how long you're willing to wait.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WREL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. Things are heating up out there, and we're back to the 90s starting Friday. That continues through the weekend. We're in the upper 80s this afternoon with lots of sunshine, low humidity at least. And then tonight, clear skies, lows in the upper 50s. On Friday, it's partly cloudy with highs in the low 90s.
Money news, your Dow Jones Industrial's up 874 points today to 51,561. The NASDAQ fell 163 points to 30,407. The S&P 500 up 30 to 7602. This hour of The Drive brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Much like for Game 1, we are changing up the starting 5 just a hint because we are outside the Lenovo Center. The action is picking up. The jerseys, the sweaters for Carolina Hurricanes are swarming us with the fans. The concert appears to be getting ready to roll over our shoulders from Dan and Shay. Basically saying, as the energy rises around the Lenovo Center, we want to focus on the Canes, focus on Game 2 Stanley Cup final action. So to do that, what I've done is I have prepared 5 stats about either Game 1 or the playoffs as a whole, or Stanley Cup playoffs over history. And I'm going to ask simply if it matters, and if it matters, what does it mean? How much can it impact this game? So as always with the starting 5, we will start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dennis?
Yeah.
Combining the regular season and playoffs this year.
Okay.
The Carolina Hurricanes are 23-7 after a defeat of any kind.
Okay.
That is
23-7.
7-6-7 winning percentage, which is tops in the NHL following a loss.
And they haven't lost back-to-back games since January, if I remember correctly.
The last dropped consecutive games are from January 12th and 13th, and you'd have to go back even further than that to find back-to-back consecutive home defeats, which they've only suffered twice this season. So this is kind of a rock and a hard place because we've brought up regular season stats in the past and gone flat out, this is the playoffs, this is the cup final, those stats don't matter. But when there's something with that big of a sample size and so often coming off a loss, they're able to lock back in and win the next one. How much does that matter when you absolutely got to have a winning game too?
No, it matters a ton. It just shows the resiliency. I think also not only shows resiliency, but the ability for this team to adjust and make and correct the mistakes, or at least try. I mean, it may not be perfect every single time coming after these losses, but the ability for them to adapt and to adjust and learn from the mistakes that they made is so crucial.
It's also it's part of a series.
Yeah.
Right. These are not familiar opponents.
No, they're not. I mean, what they played like early in the regular season.
And Vegas in their last 30 games has completely transformed who they are, right? They were a team that was not nearly as good, not nearly as accomplished, not nearly as consistent as they have been for most of the year. And obviously John Tortorella has a lot to do with that. The emergence of Carter Hart in goal and the way he's been playing has a lot to do with that. But, you know, there's something to be said for, like, if you've played the Carolina Hurricanes, you know the Carolina Hurricanes, right? They have a style, they have an identity, they are a Rod Brindamore team. So the Canes had more of a get to know you period in the first, I would say. But now they know Vegas. They spent yesterday in the film room, right? Yeah. It's not just scouting report. It's not just here's what they do. It's here's what they did to you.
Yep.
And that sticks a little bit more. So you would hope that everything you said about their resiliency, their ability to adjust, is almost magnified by the fact that it's a team they don't play that often, and now they have a game of film to watch and get to know better.
I mean, we saw from game one of Montreal to game two how like night and day Carolina was as a team. Just night and day. Now, I also anticipate that Vegas is going to be better as well. Again, you can't just assume that Vegas is going to be the same. If you are making adjustments, you can't assume that the other team is just going to be the exact same. So that's kind of the thing is that, all right, we need to correct and fix this area. But then that's also you as a coach. You're like, have to anticipate, all right, this is what they're going to try and do. You have to kind of have that counter for it. So it's just, there's so much that goes into it. And the ability to adjust on the fly is so crucial.
I think they might know where Nikolai Ehlers is, particularly on rush opportunities, right? They might pay a little bit of attention to that guy because he does, do what he did in game one. That is number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
This one's going to sting a little. The Canes are 7 of 58 on the power play in the postseason.
Yeah, that's not great, Bob.
It's going to sting a little.
That's not great, Bob.
Which they were much better in the regular season. It was actually one of the things that, as the season went along, gave you a lot of confidence in the Carolina Hurricanes was once Jordan Staal started getting out there for the power play faceoffs, even if he was just out there for the faceoff and skedaddle, they became a much more efficient power play unit. The postseason hasn't been that. Now, you might argue every team in the postseason you should expect a drop in because you're playing better teams and nobody's going to be as efficient and all of that. But, I mean, to beat Vegas, I think they're going to have to start finding pay dirt a little bit more when they have the man advantage.
The thing that was off, and Rod even said it after the game, was just the execution in terms of just the simple passes were off. So you might have thrown like, this is a great seam pass, get a chance for a one-timer or a quick one-time pass to the back door or something along those lines. But that initial pass that's coming like through like the slot area is at someone's skates. So now I'm not handling the puck clean. So when I do get a hold of it, now the defenses are already rotated. It's things like that just kind of throws your timing a little bit off. Everything has to be so quick in the even when you're up a man, the windows are tiny. The way Vegas is packing themselves in, they have to move their feet a little bit more and just be more crisp with their passing.
And I would add to it the complete reverse, which is sometimes they weren't. I don't want to say they weren't expecting the pass, but maybe they didn't think the pass was going to squeak its way through.
Yeah.
And by the time they should have been ready their feet were reversed or they weren't in position to get the shot off. And I'm going like, goodness, we just watched 4 passes not be on target. That one was on target, and you had to gather your feet or spin around or get yourself into a better position before you could take the shot. So, and then also, like, it's not just the power play being, 7 of 58.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, like, it's a difference if you're 7 of 58, but a bunch of the ones where you didn't score, you had a bunch of shots on goal. You were like, there were very few opportunities in game 1.
Yeah.
They weren't getting good looks in game 1. And that is going to make it a much more frustrating situation than just the raw numbers of not scoring goals.
You can generate chances and build off those chances when you get back to 5-on-5. That's the thing. It can't just bring your momentum to a screeching halt.
Which at times it did.
It's like, driving down the road, let's pull the e-brake.
Now, you have been bailed out by your penalty kill, so I just want to give the other one there, right? Vegas, actually similarly. What were they, 0 for 3 on their power play as well? We got a little Canes fan walking up here.
Yes, we do have some cards.
What do you
actually,
have
this
on
gentleman behind you actually has a pack of cards for you.
Sorry, I didn't want to just throw the e-brake on our show there.
I know. You don't want to pull Canes power play on this thing.
There was a youngster Canes fan rolling up. He has for lack of a better term, a branch, like a tree branch.
Yeah.
That is holding up a "We Love Keandre Miller" sign.
That's awesome.
So it was one of those, stopping in your tracks kind of cute stuff.
I hope he gets a Keandre Miller card in his pack.
That would be fun.
By the way, cards courtesy of our good friends over at Triangle Trading Cards, located out in Cary.
By the way, what I was saying about the Vegas power play is they didn't score goals either, but they seemed more dangerous.
Yes.
It was just a eye test sort of thing, but they seemed more dangerous, and that ended up being a pretty big deal. Let's go to number 3. So fired up. I did promise a Adam Gold appearance, so he's over there. He's going to be sitting down with us. Dennis, this is one of my favorite stats, but now it's becoming like a little bit of a ticking clock.
All right.
Sebastian Aho has at least 10 points in the last 7 postseasons.
Okay.
He has 7 points as it stands right now.
7.
This postseason.
Okay.
So he needs 3 more over however long this series goes. Is that a positive? Like, oh, he's due? Is it a negative? Like, oh, he's not performing at the same level he has been in point production thus far?
Yes.
To both.
Yes. So it is a negative that he hasn't been producing as much as he has in seasons past. Again, I think he had 7 goals in the postseason last year when they got lost in 5 games in the Eastern Conference
final, and that they ended up losing 2 in their last game.
He did. But you could also say that he's due.
That's the other
Just
thing.
saying. And we're a positive spin on this as Adam Gold sits down. Maybe we can ask him about this.
I'm going to bring it up first of all. Adam Gold sitting down. You know him from 99.9 The Fan. Stormwatch. He'll be on our network in about an hour and 50 minutes getting you ready for game 2.
Is that today?
That is today. Can we get his microphone turned
Yeah,
up?
we got it checked there.
All right.
All right.
Adam, the stat we are discussing at the moment.
Oh, I love stats.
So Sebastian Aho has a chance to become the 5th player in NHL history to go 8 straight postseasons with 10 or more points. He has 7 at this point. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? And the good thing being, he's due, right? This guy has 10 points in every postseason. Even when they only make 2 series, he has 10 points in those postseasons. So, we got at least 3 coming our way. Or is it a negative, like, how the heck are we in the 4th series and he doesn't have his 10 points yet?
It's a negative.
When we've just come to a stat. 7 straight seasons is enough to, like, lull you into a sense of expectation that he's going to be that type of player in the postseason.
Well, he should be. And Carolina needs him to be that player if they're going to, like, win this series, right? I mean, they desperately need that. Him, Jarvis, Svechnikov.
Yep, the top line conversation.
I mean, it's not – this is weird. Yeah, that you want him to score. But you know what I'd take? I would take, like, a first period where they're noticeable every time they step on the ice.
Yeah.
Do something good every shift.
You always notice Stankoven, Blake, and Hall. Always, 100% of the time. You always notice Jankowski, Carrier, and Robinson.
I always notice when Ehlers is on the ice.
Always. And unfortunately for the postseason, we haven't noticed those guys all the time.
Maybe more unfortunately, occasionally you notice them for the wrong reasons. You notice,
but
you notice
that
them
hasn't
because
been around as much.
Because you're screaming, shoot the puck.
Oh, okay, for that reason.
Because you're screaming like, no, you don't need that extra pass, right? Those things I scream, or occasionally with somebody like Svetch, he does something good and you're screaming, do that every time.
Right.
Why is this the first time you're doing that and it's 12 minutes into the third period?
Yeah.
Do that every time.
I don't want Jarvis to pass when he's got the puck inside the faceoff dot on the right, like below the hash mark.
That was a good yelling at the TV one if you were at home watching that one.
Man, and you're passing it through traffic, and like, yeah, there's a player there, but it's like a 5% chance it's getting through clean, even if it was accurate, and it really wasn't accurate anyway. So
I said this earlier. Like, if you're looking, it was during football at Forest. We were talking football, right? The Cam Newton not recovering the fumble, like that'll haunt you for life.
Right.
If you're Jarvis, I think passing up that shot will haunt you so much more than the one in the third that you took a good shot and Carter Hart just got his glove on it. Like it was just that's a good save. You tip your cap, but it's the ones where you feel like I made a decision there that I should have just been more aggressive with.
And what I want, and those guys are by nature like unselfish players.
Yeah.
I could do with a little bit more selfishness from my best players.
Avocado selfishness.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go, you know what? I'm going to be the hero here. And not that you're thinking about it that way, but they need a little bit more of that.
I don't say this because it's their team colors, but see a little red. Be the bull that gets a little angry and is like,
they wear black now.
Yeah, true.
So
their accessory color, their secondary color of red for the Carolina Hurricanes. Occasionally, you just need to see red and go score.
Do you split them? Those three?
No,
like if it's still not producing, or you don't notice when they're out there on the ice, it's middle of the second period, like they haven't done anything. Do you split them?
Here's what I think will happen. You're not messing with the Stankoven line, and I don't think you're messing with the fourth line.
I know. Are you not going to mess with the fourth line?
What they did in the third period, I forget which game it was, against Philadelphia,
when they were down 2-1.
was they flipped Martinook and Jarvis. And as soon as Jarvis stepped on the ice with Stahl and Ehlers, now it had nothing to do with the line. It was just coincidence because it was literally as soon as Jarvis stepped on the ice, he got the puck and scored.
Yeah.
But that was the line combination that was on the ice. And I do think that what we'll have is a situation where it'll be, all right, now's the time to play the card. And they'll play that card, and that's what they'll do.
I thought about maybe they would, because how well Stahl, Martinook, and Ehlers have been playing. Do you put Robinson and switch Robinson and Svetch?
I don't think they do that.
Okay.
I really don't think they do. And I don't think you mess with that fourth line. It's not going to play a ton. It's going to play about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't think you mess with it. And I think you want, to me, Martinook it would be the igniter for Svechnikov and Aho anyway.
Okay.
You could use Robinson, but I don't think they're not going to put Jarvis on that line.
No, I wouldn't. I was going to say Svetch and Robinson switch.
I don't think you're not going to do that with Andre either.
Yeah.
You're not going to put your guys. You're not going to put one of your top guys there. I don't think, unless they're playing terribly.
That's what I said. Also, they'd have to be going pretty poorly
they'd have to be
go that crazy
at that point.
That was number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
All right, this one is pretty on the nose. Game 2s. You know what the scores have been and the situations have been throughout the postseason?
Yes.
Overtime win 3-2. Overtime win 3-2. Overtime win 3-2.
Sign me up.
Are we going overtime win 3-2 today?
Yeah.
And what is it about maybe the adjustment game, right? I always look at game 2 as the adjustment game, right? You've landed the first punch, the first jab. Both teams go back to their labs. They make their adjustments. The Canes have come out with an overtime, close, very Canes-style 3-2 win in all of the game 2s. How do you see the chess match between Tortorella and Rod going for this one?
I just think I don't know that the teams will change much. I think they'll both play a cleaner game. They were both a mess in game 1.
Is they alternating by period, but yes.
Carolina actually was very lucky to win game 2 against Ottawa. Ottawa was the better team. Freddie Anderson won that game. Carolina was dominant against Philadelphia. Not as dominant, but they absolutely owned Montreal. They just ended up in overtime. So I'll take that. I'll take the
take the dominant one.
Yeah, I'll take the dominant one.
Well, since you brought it up, are they going to need Freddie to steal one? Are they going to need Freddie to
I hope not.
have one of those? I'm not saying in today's game, but I'm saying in this
No,
series.
I'm talking about in the series. I hope not.
Why not?
Because that means they're not playing as
will
well
they
as
need to. There's a difference between hopes and what you think might happen.
They might. I actually think they can win this series without asking Frederick Anderson to win it for them, because that's really not the way they're built.
No, they're built to
They're
actually both
built
of these
to win the
teams, I
game.
think, are built to do as much as they can
Yeah.
to take as much as they can off the plate
Correct.
of their goaltenders.
And honestly, Carter Hart wasn't that good. Made some big
No.
saves.
It was
He
a
wasn't
five-
that
it was
good in game
5-4.
2. Yeah.
It was-
and
it was a
the
5-4 game.
expected goals was about 2-2.
True.
A little bit, like 2.5. That was 5-4. It's weak.
So my point is, if you're
Yeah.
at home and you're recording the game, should you be recording the hour after the game for that overtime period? Are you expecting it?
Always add. Always add.
All right.
Yeah, that's the bad part about DVRs, right?
Something. Well,
Yeah.
now you can record like the program and it'll go. Back in the old days, you always had to record like the.
I record the next show.
Yeah, you had to record like Friends after the Super Bowl to make sure that.
Yes, absolutely. 60 minutes.
Yeah, make sure
We're recording 60
If it
minutes.
went to overtime, it
Is that
didn't
show
cut
still
off.
on?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
60
It's
minutes
still
still on? I don't
There-
think so.
There's
The
a
ratings
whole,
have gone up.
whole other can of worms on that one. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
There's 2 ways I could go with this. The first is 91% of the time, if a team goes up 2-0,
right,
they win the series. I think that's kind of on the surface. We've done all of the is it a must win? So I'm going to go in a different direction. Golden Knights rallied from 2-0 deficit in game 1. We know how that went. It was the 30th game-tying or go-ahead goal this postseason in the last 10 minutes of this postseason as a whole. That's tied for the second most at this stage of a playoffs ever, behind just 2017, which had 31 by this point. Does that play into the Canes' hands a little bit, that you're going to expect so many close one-goal games at the end? Because for as dominant as they've been through the first 3 rounds, there weren't a ton of like 6-2 victories, right? There were a ton of overtime, a ton of 3-2s,
Right.
The close games. They're a team that's built to kind of hem in a team.
Well, half of their first 10 wins were overtime. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think Carolina.
Which, because we cover Carolina, feels a lot of like, oh, Carolina's played in a lot of close games. That stat would tell you the NHL just plays close games in the postseason.
Yeah, goals are hard to come by, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah. First of all, this is the way I process things.
Mm-hmm.
And you said about 91% of the time,
Yep.
of like history doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't. It's what happened. I get it.
If
But
history mattered,
doesn't matter to me,
then the Canes would have won, because 55 out of 55 times before game 1, a home team that goes up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals wins that game.
Yeah.
So history says that
Doesn't
they're
matter.
up 1-0. So it's possible, but it is worth mentioning how the mountain that they have to climb becomes greater if you don't take care of business today.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless what you think the percentages are.
somebody said to me, well, you're not going to beat Vegas 4 out of 5 times. I'm like, well, I know what you think. That's the math, but they really only have to beat Vegas once, and then the math changes because it does.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that people don't. The math will change with everything. I understand what history says.
I mean, I took statistics before I decided that I didn't want to have a math major.
Yeah.
The whole coin flip thing, right?
Exactly.
What are the chances that you flip a coin heads 10 times? It's very low.
Right.
But each of them is just 50%. Right?
Absolutely.
So once you do it once, the next time it feels
It's
like,
still 50%.
it
to
feels
flip
less
heads.
because it'd be 2 in a row, but it's
Right.
still, when you're flipping it, it's just 50%. So I'm down with that. I'm down with that logic. You obviously know Rod Brindamore better than I do. You been around a lot longer than I have.
Just called me old, Dennis.
Wow.
And I would say
I'm about to turn 40 this month, so it's all good.
I said this. I'm growing a playoff beard.
Yeah.
First time in my life I noticed like real grays in there. Real grays.
I mean, come on now.
And Jordan Stahl's a few years older than me, and he's scoring goals in the
That's
Stanley
right.
Cup final. So what do I know? But what do you think Rod's message to the team is? Like, what is he passing along?
Just go out and do your job. Don't try to do somebody else's job, because I think that's where they get, like on the goal that made it 3-2. Aho wins the draw. He does his job. Somebody doesn't shield and protect Keandre Miller, right? So that's a mistake. And Miller can't find the handle of the puck. He needs time. He doesn't have the time. But then Aho goes to help when he doesn't have to help. Miller can recover and get to the corner. And I forget who it was. But Miller can help and get to the corner. But Aho goes to help him. And Aho's guy is William Karlsson, who is alone in front of the net. So, not to be Bill Belichick about this.
I think that was Marner. Marner that threw that pass.
Do your job. Yeah, it was Marner, right?
Yeah.
Belichick was in the building for last game.
Yes,
too.
he was. He was. He and Gary Bettman talking about, I don't know, video surveillance.
As soon as you said do your job, I was like, well, he was there, and it wasn't the move. So Rod's saying do your job, saying
That's what he's saying.
Don't do anything crazy to bring this thing full circle. Top line. What's the top line's job? How do we know if they're successful? You brought up it's just, do something good every shift.
Impact the game. Go cause them a problem. Don't play in the other team's end. That's what they haven't done enough of. They have not played in the offensive end of the ice. Even if you're just cycling the puck, like have a long shift. Have a 45-second shift in your offensive zone, and then bring another line out. We see the fourth line do it all the time. We see the stall line do it all the time. Do that. If they're noticeable, Carolina will be fine tonight because they'll eventually score.
I think that's true as well. They're not going to be scoreless forever.
Right.
But there is, for the first time, the season is coming to a close. Win or lose, right? June 17th, the latest this thing's going to be playing.
I got 6 more games to this, man.
That'd be really nice. It'd be really, really fun if it happens that way. Adam, we appreciate you as always for jumping out here. But
thank you.
Before you go,
anyway.
Before you go,
do I have a copy of the home game?
I need a first goal scorer prediction.
Oh, yes, you do.
Before you go.
First goal scorer prediction. What did I tell you yesterday? I told you, or Tuesday, I told you Shane Goss is bad, right?
That's correct. Which he did score a big goal.
He did. Tying goal.
Yep.
I'm going to go Nick Ehlers. We're going to do it again.
Oh, run it back.
But not in the first 35 seconds.
Not in the first 35 seconds. That's a bad idea.
That's the only team that
first
the
period,
first
Nick
35
Ehlers.
minutes is a terrible
There you
sign. That's Adam Gold. You can catch him on Stormwatch coming up here in the not-too-distant future here on 99.9 The Fan, and every day, noon to 3 here on 99.9 The Fan on the Adam Gold Show. Up next, we're just going from person you know to person you know. We'll be bringing Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter, right here out on the concourse with us after this.
One goal.
Let's go, Canes!
Hall coming in. Backhand. Dovership. Blake to the rebound. He scores! Oh, the Hurricanes are just pouring it on.
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Let's go, Canes!
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis. Go get the Giants.
Your official home for the Eastern Conference champion Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends. Give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside the Lenovo Center where the energy keeps going up and up and up. Also, the temperature cooling down a little bit. But that does add to our appreciation. It adds to our appreciation that Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter, comes and joins us outside because he's suited and booted. He has the suit and tie on, and as we pause to take a quick picture here, all right, there we go. We get to like short sleeve T-shirt it and rock the outside. You venture into the heat to come talk to us, full suit on. So we appreciate it, Walt.
Of course, man. I'm ready to roll. I'm happy to be here. I missed y'all on Tuesday night, and happy to be back with you. I mean, man, you brought up a great point. The energy's buzzing. I didn't even know this was open to fans over here.
Oh yeah,
that's on me for Tuesday. That's on me.
No, it's all good. We're back in rhythm now. So we'll talk about what everybody's talked about over the last 48 hours. Since that Tuesday game, top line, where do you stand on the it's now or never this group? They have to. I mean, at this point, it's almost like, what are we looking at? 4.5 goals, or like that's the over under for people to be happy for that group.
We need them, right? I mean, I'm going to throw every cliche in the book.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been hearing too much Rod Brindamore over the last 2 weeks, 9 months, whatever you want to call it, but you need your top guys to be making an impact on the game this time of year. I thought Adam Gold did a great job in the previous segment of saying they need to be spending more time in the offensive end, right? So that's the bread and butter. You live and die with those guys, and you need them to be coming up with timely appearances on the score sheet, and no better time than tonight.
So I'm going to attempt to take the conversation to a place that I feel like none of us have ventured in the last 2 days. Outside of the top line, who needs to step up? Like, give us a name of someone that's not Aho, Jarvis, or Svech that you think has some upward mobility in their play, because as every Canes fan knows, it's a depth thing for this team. You need contributions from everywhere.
Yeah, you do. And I think for the most part, they've kind of gotten them, right? I mean, and how many times have we sat out here and talked about how it's tough to expect more from anybody on the trio of Blake, Hall, and Stanko, and they've done their job.
Yeah.
Nikolai Ehlers was great, and last time scored 2 goals in 12 minutes and 8 seconds. We're all riding high on top of the world. I think that there's more to be found in terms of goal scoring from the blue line, though. I know that Shane Gostisbehere's got a couple in back-to-back games, but think about just a couple of years ago, we were having conversations, and I know the personnel has changed, but this was at one point a blue line that had multiple 20-goal scorers. You know, Brent Burns was here for a while. You had Brady Shea with 20. And again, I know maybe a bit apples to oranges there. And I'm not saying you need guys to be recording multiple goals every single night, but especially for tonight, one of the things I think Carolina needs to do a better job of taking away the eyes of Carter Hart with those drive-through screens, tips, redirections. And if you're looking for offense in those sorts of situations, a lot of times it stems from the blue line.
If you're talking offense on the blue line, are we talking Nikishin and Gostisbehere? Because if you look at skill sets, obviously Slavin Chatfield, they're a lot of people's favorite blue line, but they are not necessarily offensive-minded. Keandre Miller and Sean Walker have 10 assists, or maybe 11 now. I don't even know what they're up to. I lose track. They have so many. Is it a Gostisbehere Nikishin thing for more offense?
Not necessarily what came to mind, but you're absolutely right in saying when you pinpoint 2 guys on the blue line of who you're thinking about for offense, it's those
an hour and the guy in the power play one. All right.
But I think I'm hoping optimistically. I think the fact that he was put in that spot, and that's the right guy for that spot. I'm not suggesting it should have been anyone else, but I hope that gives him a little bit of confidence, right? He's looked like a little bit different since he came back from that concussion in the Ottawa series. Maybe he's still finding his footing, but everyone harps on him saying his shot is one of his best assets, and so he needs to be firing at will when that puck is on his tape.
We're talking with Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter. It's been a while since this had been passed around on social media, but I did see people passing around his hardest slap shot competition video from the KHL, which was like, oh, right. People were really excited about that particular part of his game when he was just a prospect, right? When we didn't know anything about him, that stuff was passed around a bunch. I'm sure you're aware, like the old college basketball thing where when the opposing team has the ball, you might start the shot clock countdown in the stands early so they fire something up crazy. I kind of want to do it to Nikishin with 4 minutes left in the second period, just because when he knew there were no other options other than to let it rip. If Marner doesn't, I think, accidentally step in front of that, that's a goal to me. I don't think Carter Hart's catching up with that.
I am 100% with you. I think it's a great shot. It was exactly where it needed to be. And so, again, you hope that snowballs some confidence for him, because in the dire seconds when there was no other option, he executed what he needed to. So now let's see him do it more often when there's more than 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock.
How much does that translate to almost everybody on the? You don't always need to make the one more pass. You don't always need to pass up the very good shot for a potentially perfect shot later on. Did they need a healthy dose of let it fly?
100%. Those guys, especially at the top of the lineup, who we referenced earlier on, but Seth Jarvis and Andrei Svechnikov were 30 goal scorers this season. I still, I hate how ingrained it is in my mind of that 3-on-2 rush opportunity the other night of Seth Jarvis walking in and him just telegraphing a pass back toward the middle of the ice. Young man, you got to let that fire. I know that's not necessarily a novel take, but that's what you do need this time of year. When the top performers have the lights on them brightest, you have to come through in a situation like that. Putting a pass back toward the middle is probably not going to get you there, so you got to get that toward the net. I know it wouldn't have been a great angle shot. Maybe you look for a rebound. Maybe you try and sneak one through a gap that he didn't have covered all the way. Anything but a pass back toward the middle with two covered guys.
Listen, I've never played hockey, so I don't want to pretend like I know what that feels like. But I played basketball, and when somebody is staring that obviously at something, you almost know it's not going there because you're like, there's no way he's telegraphing like that. So I'm going to try to, bait and try to jump in the other passing lane. Like it was unusual for Jarvis. You don't see that from him that often. That group has such high hockey IQ. They never have to look where they're throwing it because they know where they're going to be. It was kind of a stark, like, whoa, that was weird.
It was weird, and it was costly. No two ways about it, right? Again, we're not sitting here saying that if he fires the puck, it goes in, but can't score if you don't shoot. So that's where I guess I'll leave that.
Looking at the Golden Knights side of things, did they do anything in Game 1 that surprised you? This is not a familiar team for us to, it's not like the Canes play them often, and they've changed in the last 30, 45 games a ton anyway. Did anything they were able to do surprise you?
Maybe not structurally, but how well they executed. I was like, wow. I mean, I know that post-game John Tortorella, or perhaps it was yesterday on the off day, he said, we got lucky in Game 1, and I couldn't believe it because that was a team that was executing all over the ice. They forced Carolina into making mistakes. We don't see Carolina give up 5 goals all that often. And when you break down the tape of how they got to the back of the net, a lot of it was mistakes. And I think therein lies the difference from the Game 1 of the Montreal series against Game 1 here on Tuesday night. Game 1 of Montreal series, it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. And I know Taylor Hall used that phrase on the off day, but you got to give Vegas more credit than you had to give Montreal in that first series because this is a puck pressure forward-checking heavy team, and it was for Carolina a dose of their own medicine, right? It's what we see them do to teams all season long. It's why they are here playing in this series, and they got fed a dose of their own medicine.
Talking with Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter here outside the Lenovo Center ahead of Game 2. The Canes were out-hit by, I think it was 9 or 10 hits. How important, in your opinion, is it for them to at least match Vegas's physicality and the hits are kind of, we talked about it earlier. If you have the puck the whole time, it's a good chance you're going to be behind in hits. But just watching the game, was the physicality something that stood out to you, maybe lacking for the Canes?
Maybe it was a half step back from what we had seen in prior series, right? They did a really good job against Montreal. They did a really good job against Philadelphia, similarly in the Ottawa series. So I'm not all that surprised that the numbers wound up where they are because, again, when you have two teams playing pretty similar styles, a lot of the numbers are going to be the same. So I thought Vegas did a really good job in that department, but Carolina, yes, will have to be in the same ballpark at minimum tonight, playing that style of game, getting pucks behind Vegas's defense. Those are key elements and fundamental components to what makes the Carolina Hurricanes tick.
One of my favorite stories in the NHL over the past few years is Jalen Chatfield. You brought up that you need perhaps a little bit more goal scoring from the blue line. I mean, we got multiple assists from Jalen Chatfield in 2 of the last 5 games. The last 5 games, he's a point-per-game player. Is he just is that playmaker Jalen Chatfield? That's his game now?
Well, you know what? When I think about his night on Tuesday, I really loved his effort on not just the first goal where he picked up the assist, but the second goal because it's a Jack Eichel pass through the neutral zone that Jack Eichel knows a thing or two about hockey. He knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
But it was just a little soft through the... God,
we're giving away packs of cards here. And there have been a few Golden Knights where I don't want to disrespect them, but there's some Golden Knights that aren't premier players.
Sure.
And whenever they pop up, Canes fans are quick to just rip it, go throw it in the trash. Somebody got a Jack Eichel, and I kind of looked at him like, are you going to do it? And he was like, I'll put it in the back and won't look at it for a couple days. I was like, that's fair.
It's kind of like when you catch a home run ball in an opposing stadium, right?
It's so exciting, but what am I going to do here? He was just like, slid it to the back of the pack and was like, I'm just not going to look at it. I'll look at it in July or something. But it was fair, right? Jack Eichel's a pretty good player, so continue.
100%. And his pass was a little soft through the neutral zone. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication with the forward he was looking for as well. But it's Chatfield who makes the read, pushes the puck up, goal. So I know it was a bit tongue-in-cheek from you, but for him, it's doing the little things, right, that are leading to getting on the scoreboard. You could say the same about the first goal, just kind of doing his own job in the defensive end, and he's gotten rewarded for it, and I think that's rightfully deserved.
I mean, it was tongue-in-cheek just because it's unusual, not because I don't think he has that in his game.
Right.
I think it's like 6 multi-assist games in his career, regular or postseason, and 2 of them have come since they got blown out by Montreal in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So, if he turned a corner in that, I'm all for it. Speaking of no, it's not even turning the corner, but there's some demon exercising happening for Nikolai Ehlers, right? Based on everything, how he was played or deployed in Winnipeg and maybe his postseason reputation. A game like that, what can that do for his confidence having that first period, let alone game, in a Stanley Cup final?
Yeah, he was the star of the show offensively for Carolina in Game 1, right? I mean, like I'd mentioned earlier, everybody was riding high after 12 minutes and 8 seconds. It's like, boy, I'm glad the Canes got that Nikolai Ehlers guy.
It was the second goal, because the first one, I think we were all flashing back to Montreal Game 1. Going, first 30 seconds, oh no. But then he scored the second, and we're like, oh, this is different. Now we can, all right, it's not happening again. It kind of did, but it wasn't for those few moments. We really enjoyed it.
One of the things that always comes to mind for me when it comes to Nikolai Ehlers is this is not the role a lot of people thought he'd be playing when the Canes went and signed him to a 6-year contract last summer, right? I know they tried him out up top early with Sebastian Aho. Didn't really find his footing there. But for all intents and purposes, he's playing a third-line role with Jordan Staal and Jordan Martinook. Probably different to an extent than some of what he was tasked with during his time in Winnipeg. Jordan Stahl's line is going to get some of the toughest defensive responsibilities from the opposition. So for him to still have the offensive level production, not just during the playoffs, but the regular season, that he had, I think it tells you everything you need to know about Nikolai Ehlers, and rightfully Canes fans should be very excited about him being in red, black, and white for 5 more years after this one.
Maybe I've been listening to Rod Brindamore too much, but what are you talking about third line? We don't number our lines here.
You're right.
It's a Stahl line.
You are right.
What are you talking about? Walt, before we let you go, as always, we need a first goal scorer prediction.
Tim, I'm piggybacking you tonight.
Really?
I'm going with Taylor Hall.
Look at that.
I just going solely off intuition today. I think that line obviously had a great deal of success early on in the postseason. That's not to say that they're not having the same level of success anymore. But just have a feeling 71's going to come up big for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight.
And I have to clarify, you've said your first period all the time.
All the time.
Just to lock it in.
All the time.
I have to clarify, right? It's like
that's kind of a given. What, 5-6 games in a row now?
Yeah, I mean, you've said it even when it hasn't been a given, right?
True.
But I have to ask. It's like the exit row of the airline. Just say yes. Just say yes and nod your head.
Great
and then
analogy.
Put your headphones back on and go to sleep.
That's good.
Walt, we appreciate you as always. Get out of the heat. Go inside and enjoy this one.
Thanks, man. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Once again, that's Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter, joining us here outside the Lenovo Center. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back in a second. But first, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Miller Lending, there's a lot of people coming into the area, right? They want to be here for a big game. They want to be in the building. Well, guess what? They're going to fall in love with it, and they're going to be looking for a house, and they're going to see how awesome our area is, and they're going to need a mortgage, and they should call Miller Lending. Why? Because they offer a no-cost loan, which means costs, fees, closing costs, none of that matters. Because it doesn't exist on a no-cost loan. Call, ask questions. If you're looking to refi, maybe you're in the area, you love it, you want to stick around, that's fine. Just get the lower monthly payment by lowering that monthly interest rate with a no-cost refi. Call and ask questions. Here's the number, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, Dennis and I will give our 2 most important Canes for tonight. Stick around.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina, Stanley Cup Final Edition. It's Game 2 with Vegas.
He scores! Nikolai Ehlers, 2 for 2, my friend!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 8.
Now Hannafin gives it away. A chance shot. They score! The captain! Jordan Staal ties it at 3!
on your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, it's Dennis with a Men's Health Month hot tip. Want to go home a hero? Schedule a preventive CT scan at Kraft Body Scan. It's an excellent preventive health tool, and if you do it without being told to, that's one less time she has to remind you to go to the doctor, so you come out looking like a champ. With just a 5-minute scan at Kraft Body Scan, you can get a comprehensive cross-sectional CT view of your major organs, see if there's anything you need to address like heart disease, tumors, or conditions that your doc can't see. Then you can talk to your regular doctor and get early treatment. And if your scan comes all clear, even better. You've taken the initiative to protect your health and peace of mind for both of you. I'm telling you, this is hero stuff. Look, early detection helps save lives every day, and the Kraft Body CT scan is an excellent, affordable way to get a comprehensive check. Even better, take her along. Right now, get a couple's heart and lung scan for just $99 total when you use the promo code TheFan50 at craftbodyscan.com. That's promo code TheFan50 at craftbodyscan.com.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
I would recognize this anywhere. 6'6" from North Carolina, Michael Jordan. Shout out to the Alan Parsons Project. By the way, it's not Michael Jordan, but it's a pretty good Carolina Tar Heel. Antoine Jameson will be one of the siren sounders for the Canes today in the building right behind us, the Lenovo Center, where Game 2 Stanley Cup Final hockey will be played in just over 2 hours from now.
Yeah.
The other siren sounders will be Canes legend, Stanley Cup goalie, Cam Ward, and Dan Morgan, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, will be in town sounding the siren as well. So those will be the people tasked with getting the Lenovo Center into a frenzy to support the Carolina Hurricanes coming out of each intermission and obviously the beginning of the game for Cam Ward. They will not be eligible. And Cam Ward, even when he was a player, he would not have been eligible for 2 most important Canes because we exclude goaltenders. We exclude goalies because that would be too obvious going into every hockey game. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some pretty good options. The top line could be an option.
Yeah.
Blue liners, fourth liners, they're all an option. We are picking our 2 most important Canes, the players that could have this entire season hinging on. Dennis, why don't you go ahead and give us your pick? Who is your first of your 2 most important players?
Last game I went, Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis were my 2 guys.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the other guy on that line, Andrei Svechnikov. I want him to be direct, straightforward, and have a shoot-first mindset. I know Nikolai Ehlers has talked about this, even with how he and Andrei Svechnikov have had these conversations about having that shoot-first mentality. Well, we're seeing a shoot-first mentality from Nikolai Ehlers. Not that he isn't afraid to pass the puck or make the right play when it's needed, but he has a mindset. He's going to get to the middle of the ice, and he's going to try and make sure as best he can that puck gets towards the net in some way, shape, or form. That's what I want to see from Andre. When he's direct, straight to the blue paint, that's when he's at his best, in my opinion.
bull in a china shop style Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah.
I do think we forget, because he is skilled, how just big and strong that dude is.
He is a beast.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we've been talking, right, as the commenter said earlier, talking about his potential for so long, because he has a tremendous amount of it. I actually think this year he realized a lot of his potential, right? This was a year where he stepped up his production in the regular season, but it would be nice to have one of those games where it's like, goodness gracious, that dude is a monster. Only have it in the Stanley Cup final. Speaking of goodness gracious, that dude is a monster. My first of my two most important players, Alexander Nikishin. I don't want him to wait or defer. Treat every play like there's 5 seconds left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Treat every play like the puck is coming to you, and if you don't make this shot, the game is over and you lose. Because that's exactly what he did with 5 seconds left in the game last game, and he put a heck of a run on it. And it wasn't a goal, but if he does that exact same thing 4 times, one of them's going in the net. Like, one of them will find its way through, and you know, with his, that's a talent. It's a skill. It's not something that everybody has at their disposal, so don't waste it, right? You got to go ahead and find a way. And then on top of that, you know, he's got a little bit of size. Like, you know, the reverse hits that he's landed.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm not even sure, you know, he knows, right? Like, somebody's going to try to hit him from the side, and they're on their back, and he turns around like, what was that? Like, he doesn't even need to brace for it occasionally. He's a big dude. He's strong as heck. He can hit it 100 miles an hour. I just want him to play loose, play free, play aggressive. You know, sometimes there's you get to a team and you're trying so hard to be coachable, and you're trying so hard to buy into the system that you forget a few of the things that made you special. What he has as a natural ability makes him special, and I want to see him unleash that a little bit.
My next guy?
Yep, let's hear it.
My next guy, it's Jordan Martinook.
You're never going to believe who my next guy is.
Is it Jordan Martinook?
You'll have to wait and see.
No, okay. The reason why I say Jordan Martinook is that we've talked about him constantly being the heart and soul of this team, and he is. He's the heartbeat of this team. I think if he gets on the score sheet today, especially if he registers a goal today, the place is going to go nuts. And I think anytime that he gets on the score sheet, it gets the bench going as well, because he fights for every inch on the ice. He drags his team into the fight. Not that they need to be dragged into a fight today, but he does that on a night in and night out basis. He's consistent with how his effort is. It's not always going to be at his best, because you're not ever always going to be at your best, but his effort is always at a maximum every single time he's out there on the ice. I think this is a prime chance. So I said last game, I said this is a prime chance for to see Jordan Staal score a goal. He was my first goal score prediction. But like the captain rising to the occasion, I think a guy that's been here for 8 years, Jordan Martinook, he gets on the score sheet today, and I think it's going to be a massive goal.
My second of our two most important players, Jordan Martinook.
Oh, look at that.
I think this is the definition of a culture game.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where you put like your reputation on the line, and you almost say, like, if we walk out of here without a win, you must be not able to walk out. Like, it is get the win or die trying time. And if there's anybody on the Canes that I think would genuinely make that promise, Martinook would be at the front of the line, going like, you know, hey, if the hockey gods come down from wherever the hockey gods live, and they pop in the locker room and go, listen, we'll give you the win, but somebody's going to have to trade an arm for it.
Yeah,
Martinook would be sitting there like, from the elbow or the shoulder. Can I keep the bicep? Where do you need it? Take what you need, but I'm doing this. Like, he's the one that's willing to do absolutely anything, and I think this is going to be one of those games, right? And it could be something as like literal as stepping in front of a slap shot, right? Where you're just literally saying, I will take an enormous amount of physical pain to prevent this goal. But it could also be something like you're caught out on the ice for a 1:30 shift, and you're dog tired, and with, 5 seconds before you get the clear, you got to sprint 60 feet and do everything you can to get there. And even though you're on empty, Jordan Martinook's the guy that's going to go, well, I'll find gas at some point. Like,
yeah,
I'm coasting on fumes, but I'm going to get there. I think it's a massive opportunity for Jordan Martinook to prove what everybody already knows, which is he is the heart and soul of this team. And here's how I see his impact happening. because as much as we love Jordan Martinook, he's not going to get a hat trick. You know what I mean? Like that's not his game.
Unless you're going to do it.
I mean, yeah, if he does they will build like Lego replicas of it. But here's my point. He'll do something that ups the energy in the building, and then right after that, Ehlers will score.
Yeah.
Right? He'll do something that raises the energy. Boom. Aho gets a breakaway. Right? Like he'll be the catalyst, even if one of the other guys who are the more traditional stars are going to be the ones that make the flashy play. It'll be a direct line from Martinook to the flashy play being made. He's that important. And make, like, by the way, we're not original in this. Tuesday, when we had Adam Gold on the show, I said, if Rod Brindamore and Tom Dundon are off the board, who's the next most responsible for the Canes being here? Meaning being in the Stanley Cup final, being a program of this quality, you know, as Adam does, referenced a bunch of guys, but then settled on Jordan Martinook as the player. And I agree. Like, you know, you take away Brindamore, Martinook could be one of those ones. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are live all the way up till 7 o'clock here outside the Lenovo Center. So while traditionally we'd be signing off and passing things off to Overdrive.
Oh, no.
Today we're just getting started, everybody. We have more time to get you ready. And we should say this more often.
Okay.
For Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah, I know.
In the Lenovo Center. At home for the Carolina Hurricanes. Yes, they're down 1-0. But you know what they used to say up and down on the sidelines when you'd fall behind on a football game when I was playing in college?
What's that?
People remember comebacks.
That's true, they do.
People remember when your back's against the wall and you fight back. And the Carolina Hurricanes, they're going to remember what you do next. So make it the positive kind of memories. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, we're going to pass things off to Dennis real quickly for a message.
Real quick, folks, this hour of The Drive is brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog, too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Will be back after this with more to get you ready for Game 2. Stick around.
Can't get enough of the Carolina Hurricanes? Check out my podcast, Iced Tea, hosted by me, Megan LaMontagne, as I take you behind the scenes and get exclusive stories about the team. This season, I've interviewed Seth Jarvis's brother, Caden, who talks about a young Jarvie growing up, longtime PA announcer Wade Minter, who spills the tea on how a mess-up made national news, and legendary color commentator Trip Tracy, just to name a few of the guests. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or watch on YouTube.
A bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is the sound of Jack buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy.
Oh, ouch.
However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come and throw it in and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, You name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan, continuing outside the Lenovo Center. The location for game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, which, by the way, Game 3 and Game 4 will be in Vegas. But
whatever.
You can always listen to them right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Always here.
There will also be watch parties here outside the Lenovo Center, watch parties at Carolina Ale House. Obviously, the area is all bought in, right? The Canes are in the Stanley Cup Final. But always remember the ones that have been here all along, right? Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy on 99.9 The Fan. That goes back to preseason times. We've been all in, and we want to continue to bring you the best possible coverage of the Carolina Hurricanes that we can, and that continues with our coverage right now, right outside the arena, getting ready for Game 2. Dennis?
Yep.
So the top line's been in the crosshairs
A little bit.
last 48 hours, right? Everybody wanting the Aho line needs to show up. The Aho line needs to show up. I'm gonna try to zag here a little bit, okay? If I'm the rest of the team, oh, the butterfly just flew right under our tent.
Oh, very nice.
Positive omen.
Hey, buddy.
If I am the rest of the team, I'm saying, listen, guys, the Aho line might not be feeling it right now. We have the depth to win the game anyway, right? Because the new guys, the young guys, they've been part of the difference for the Canes the entire season. So it's almost like, yeah, you could sit around waiting for Aho or Svetch or Jarvis to score, or the Stankoven line could score a couple, right? We talked to Walt Ruff. He wants to see a little bit more scoring out of the blue line. The blue line can score a couple. Here's kind of a crazy, I'm big on stats when we're getting ready for these games.
Yeah.
You want to hear a real wild one? Tonight, Jackson Blake is playing in his 30th career NHL playoff game.
That's pretty remarkable.
His dad, Jason Blake, played in 871 career NHL games, also played in 30 playoff games. So Jackson Blake is tying his dad in playoff games tonight.
I was talking to Jackson a little bit one-on-one on media day back earlier this week, and I asked him like how much he's leaned on his dad and stuff for his experience, and he's like, his dad told him to appreciate it and embrace it. And so that's kind of the thing. Is like he told him to appreciate the moment, embrace the moment, because he's like, yeah, my dad never got out of the first round. He actually said, Jackson Blake, I said, yeah, my dad actually hated watching playoff hockey because he was always eliminated after the first round. So for him, Jackson was like, yeah, he's not letting the moment be too big and also just enjoying the moment and understanding the fact that this doesn't happen every year, even though it's happened every year for him in some capacity, at least get into a conference final.
But also, like, sometimes I think we look at age as experience. 30 playoff games is a ton.
It's a lot.
Logan Stankoven's played in more than that.
That he has.
Youth doesn't mean you can't be the one to step up and carry your squad in a Stanley Cup final, right? These guys have played in gigantic games. They've had their ups and downs in gigantic games. They've had the games where they've played really well. They've had some games where they've left a little bit to be desired. Like, that's how you become ready for a moment like this, right? So if you're the Canes, you can hope, and you should hope, that the Aho line steps up and plays the way that we all know they can play. But if you're on one of those other lines, if you're on the Stankoven line, you can go, listen, we've been the best line all postseason.
Mhm.
We've been the best line all playoff. Why can't we be the de facto top line and go win ourselves a game and score the goals we need to score and force Vegas into the mistakes we need to force them into? Why can't we go do that? And the answer is there's no reason you can't do that. Right? The Nikolai Ehlers signing. Every time he scores a goal in the postseason, I want to scream from the rafters, that's why you signed that guy.
100%
That's why you bring him in. Well, guess what? The Aho line, for as underwhelming as they've pretty much been a plus minus zero, right? They haven't been on the ice losing 3-4 goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're still a net zero. So Ehlers, they brought you in to score the goal that changes the game. You did a great job of it in game one. Do it again.
Yep.
Right. If you score 2 goals in the first period, even though it didn't work in game one, I still really like their chances in game two if you do it right. Like everybody can still do the things that they do to contribute to winning, even if that means that the top line is underwhelming or whatever you want to call their performance lately.
By the way, so we're located in Raleigh Wood, right across from Carter, right next to Carter Finley Stadium, underneath the scoreboard, basically, across from the Lenovo Center, doing our show out here live. We do have packs of cards that we're giving away to people, by the way. Packs of cards, courtesy of our good friends over at Triangle Trading Cards, located in Cary. And people are actually bringing cards back to us, and they get a Vegas Golden Knight. People like, for example, what do we have here?
Mark Stone, crinkled up, ripped down the middle.
That is
given back
priceless.
to us.
I think we have a trash bag here. We have a trash bag full of, let's see what people have brought back, but this is hilarious. We have an Alexander. We have quite a few, actually. Let's see what people have actually given back to us. An Alexander Holtz Golden Knights card. He's not really playing, but that's what it is. Someone gave us a Jack Eichel. Threw it back in here. This is funny. It's a Toronto Maple Leafs Mitch Marner, but that's totally acceptable as well. We will accept that. We have a Shea Theodore being thrown away. We have an Aiden Hill getting thrown away. A Stuart Skinner. Someone decided to throw away a Stuart Skinner like he plays for Pittsburgh.
Look at the chairs.
Look at the chairs.
Look at the chairs.
In the background, there's some Vegas on it.
Oh, there's Vegas up in the background.
So that is from a game he played against Vegas.
Vegas. That's funny.
And they
and here's one of Robert Thomas, the
same game.
the former future Carolina Hurricane, Robert Thomas. Same thing. Vegas Golden Knights seats in the background of this Robert Thomas from the St. Louis Blues, and then another Jack Eichel all getting thrown away in here. So you know what? I respect this. From Canes fans. I genuinely respect it.
I was going to say we need to throw all those away, but you know what? I think we keep them, and if game 2 goes poorly, between game 2 and game 3,
we're burning them
like a seance. We go get like a Ouija board and whatever else we need to do. I'm not even into that sort of thing, but I'll try anything if you go down 0-2.
For this, I'll do it.
That is, by the way, an all-time loyalty bit. We are giving away free packs of cards, and people are ripping them, searching for Canes, and every time they see a Golden Knight, they are giving them back to us.
That's hilarious.
Because, I mean, they're the enemy. They are the enemy.
I respect it.
There's a few players, even on some other teams, that I wouldn't want to keep in my collection. But right now, Vegas is the enemy. That's hilarious. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Obviously, we're getting ready for Game 2, Stanley Cup Final. It's going to be played right behind us. Kids are jogging around looking for cards now.
Yeah, they are. They're like, oh, you guys got cards? You guys got cards? Kids are running over here.
All right.
Trying to get packs of cards. I love this.
Again, makes sense. Love the energy. Fan base going crazy. Top line is important. Dennis, a name we haven't brought up yet. And with the Canes depth, which is kind of what I had planned to talk about during this segment, I want to make sure we mention at some point in time everyone that could contribute to the Carolina Hurricanes. And one name we haven't mentioned is one of Dennis's favorite players.
Go on.
We haven't really talked about Sean Walker.
We have not.
And part of that is because Keandre Miller is playing so well that when they're on the ice, it's hard to take your eyes off of what Miller is doing. It's hard to take your eyes off of some of the dynamic plays that he's made. But Sean Walker is somebody who, I mean, he's been your first goal scorer prediction a decent amount of times.
He's been a couple times.
He's someone you can find perhaps some offense that if you get it from Sean Walker, you probably weren't planning for it.
Yeah.
So maybe that gives the people you were planning to have a little bit of offense come from a little bit of wiggle room, if you will. Like you get a goal from Sean Walker, maybe it's not as vital. You get one from Seth Jarvis because you already kind of found a goal. What do you think of the Walker-Miller pairing as somebody who might be able to sneak a goal in, because they're the only line or pairing in the playoffs thus far that does not have a goal.
It's crazy because they're generating a ton of scoring opportunities. Yep. You mentioned the amount of assists that Keandre Miller has so far this year. I would like to see them generate even more offensively in terms of just, they might not get points from it, but the way they're able to drive play, by they're able to move the puck quickly out of their own end. I think this is also an opportunity as well for Rob Brindamore in certain situations, maybe depending on what the matchup is on forwards, or there's an offensive zone faceoff, to put those two out there in a position where both those guys can just shoot the puck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, quick off the draw, let the shots fly. One-timers, let the shots go. They've been so good defensively as a whole this entire postseason. But, man, if they got one today, or just if they got one at some point this series, it's going to be crucial. It's going to be clutch.
Here's my last point on the depth for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that the quote-unquote top guys are playing, there is almost 0% chance that in years past they would even be here with the way that top line is playing.
Yeah.
But instead, if you look at right now, the top 5 guys in points for the Carolina Hurricanes this postseason,
mm-hmm.
Taylor Hall, Jackson Blake, Logan Stankoven, Nikolai Ehlers, Keandre Miller. None of them were playing for the Carolina Hurricanes 2 years ago.
Say those names one more time for the people in the back.
Taylor Hall,
yep.
who was part of the Miko acquisition.
Yep.
Jackson Blake, who came up through the farm system, but was promoted in earnest at the beginning of last year. Logan Stankoven, who was brought in at the Miko departure. Nikolai Ehlers, brought in this offseason in a free agency contract. And Keandre Miller, brought in this offseason on a trade.
Yeah.
Those are the top 5 guys in point production this postseason. What that has done, and by the way, hat tip to Eric Tulsky,
sure,
the GM, for being a part of the acquisition of all of those players, or the promotion of all of those players. But what that has done is it allowed you to be in the Stanley Cup final with an underwhelming postseason from Sebastian Aho. Right? Like, name the amount of teams in the NHL that can be in a Stanley Cup final with their top line center having 7 points. There's really, I don't believe, many. Maybe a couple, but not a ton. So looking at it, keep doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you have a game where those guys can handle a bulk of the scoring or a bulk of the production, and the other guys can be, for lack of a better term, a very highly talented, highly paid checking line, do it. You know what I mean? You have the ability because you've built this roster that is exceptionally deep with talent at all levels.
And they're getting better. Like they say, these young guys are getting better too. I mean,
Like,
let's think with Keandre Miller, like he's still, like, I know he's entering his prime years, but he's getting better. Like, he's still getting better, especially as he continues to grow game after game in this Carolina Hurricane system, and the more and more comfortable he gets, just getting better and better.
We were talking with Dan and Chris from the Empty Netters on before game one, and they talked about how maybe no player on the Canes has like a legacy attached to winning the cup, but the system for the Canes, because you can kind of say, like, everybody says you need a superstar to win, and if the Canes win, it's kind of them saying, like, you can do it team first. You don't need the superstar. Do you know what my prediction might be?
What's that?
Rather than that being the reaction, if the Canes are able to come back, right, win tonight, win the cup, they're just going to turn, like, Jackson Blake into a superstar.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be, when you look back at this one 20 years from now, oh, they did it without a superstar. They're going to go, oh, they did it before we knew Jackson Blake was a superstar. Or, oh, they did it before we knew Stanky was a superstar. Because they're on the precipice. I mean, Jackson Blake has 15 points.
Yeah.
5 goals, 10 assists.
I've started the campaign. Jackson Blake, 2030 USA Olympic team. I've already started the campaign.
Can I start maybe a vice president on that ticket?
Okay.
Keandre Miller Olympic team.
Oh, okay. All right.
Send them both.
Send them both.
Send them both.
Send them both.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside the Lenovo Center. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can still jump in the comments. Let us know your first goal scorer prediction. Let us know your cons and cons. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about for the Carolina Hurricanes? And if you want to throw in any other predictions or results for Game 2, we'd be happy to hear them in our YouTube live stream comments. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe while you're there. With that being said, we're here till 7, so we'll be right back after this with more preview coverage of Canes Vegas Game 2. Stick around.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons with Adam Gold in The Drive for our Cup Check-In, served up by Carolina Ale House. We talk with hockey's best, past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup Check-In on 99.9 The Fan, served up by Carolina Ale House. Carolina Ale House is the official Canes road game HQ. Join them for every game during the playoffs.
Hey everybody, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. And FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. And now that we've reached the NBA Finals, you've got more ways to build and certainly more value every time you play. Stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every finals moment. From spreads to player points to three balls and more, you can build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. And you got plenty of chances. If you're betting same-game parlays during the NBA postseason and final season, you can bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Head on over to FanDuel.com/Paul and get started. FanDuel.com/Paul. That's Paul with a capital P. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
Some of life's most meaningful moments are in summertime. Anniversary dinner, weekend getaway, sunset toast to another beautiful year together. Celebrate your story with a gift as timeless as your love from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From classic diamond bracelets to elegant watches and stunning anniversary bands, Bailey's helps you mark every milestone beautifully. This summer, celebrate the moments that matter most. Visit Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh, Cary, Greenville, Rocky Mount, and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
Together Live. Clint Black and Midland.
People say I gotta drink it.
Live in concert, 8 nights only.
I'm leaving.
Playing D-Pack Friday, October 23rd. Tradition turned up loud.
Walking in the moonlight.
On sale Friday 10 a.m. at dpacknc.com. D-Pack, presented by First Horizon. Experience live.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside the Lenovo Center over in the Raleigh Wood section. We are underneath pretty much the Carter Finley Stadium scoreboard. So if you're out here and you want to come say hi, we're having a good time interacting with everybody during the commercial breaks. Listeners out there, you are the real MVPs. And I don't know how many we have left, but we do have a bunch of like sports trading cards, hockey cards that we are giving away. And it's fun watching everybody open them up and get stoked when they get a Carolina Hurricane. And also hilarious that they're all giving back the Golden Knights.
Which is wonderful.
Somebody just like came up and was like, does this count? I want to give it back. It was Mitch Marner on the Leafs.
That counts. We will accept that.
We did. We absolutely
will
did.
accept that.
You want to be loyal to the Canes. We're not gonna nitpick how you show your loyalty. Dennis, one of the questions or the stories of today's game is changes. And I don't want to say impatient, but I do think fans tend to err on the impatient side where 7-game series, you lose game 1 and you're like, change everything. Bring up a new guy. Where's Kokaniemi? We need to shift. We need to change. Freddie, where's Bussy? And one thing you know about Rod Brindamore is, I don't know, some might say stubborn. I say trusting his gut and his decisions. There's not going to be a tremendous amount of like wholesale team shaking changes. There'll be minor adjustments. There'll be guys that are, focusing on different things. But, morning skate had largely the exact same lineup that we saw the entirety of the postseason.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of Rod Brindamore is going to trust his guys, and he's going to look for them to make the adjustments as they go.
I think that's the key is that Rod Brindamore is not going to panic. He even said it himself. I think he even said it this morning or yesterday. He goes, it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah.
Like it's just literally it's a one play. It's just one play. It's all it is. One play was even with all the mistakes. Now again, Vegas wasn't perfect either. Carolina wasn't perfect. You can't expect perfection, and when you're going in a cup final, you should never expect perfection because the other team is also really good. Let's not forget that. But just because you lost once doesn't mean you just complete. I've seen people being like, bench Seth Jarvis, put in Bradley Nadeau.
Yeah, and
I'm
not bench, like move him to a different line. Bench him like healthy and active.
Like scratch. I'm like, y'all need to chill. Like, for real. You just lost the game 5-4. It wasn't like, it's not like the sky is falling. Gosh, you got pumped 6-2 against Montreal in game 1. What did you do? You kept everything the same in terms of your lineup. You just adjusted. You go with the guys that got you here.
I almost think it was easier for everybody because the Montreal game was like such a dominant game for Montreal. It was easier for everybody to just look around and go, that was weird.
Yeah.
But because you were up 2-0, you just scored the tying goal to go 3-3. You scored the tying goal to go 4-4. You had a slap shot in the air to tie it up that just didn't find its way into the net pretty much as time expired. Because of that, it seems, I don't know, like the anger has been louder.
Yeah.
When I'm going like, you actually played worse in game 1 against Montreal.
You did.
And you were less close to the win, and there's fewer adjustments that need to be made in this one than in that one. But it just, like, can you imagine if the same comments that were said about Jacob Slavin by Brindamore after game 1 were said about the top line or about whoever after game, or the comments that were said about Slavin after game 1 of the Montreal series, all of the like, whoa, that was, unusual. I haven't seen that from him very often. If that would have been said about anyone in game 1 of the Stanley Cup final, fans would have been out with pitchforks. They would have been so angry because it just, when in actuality, really 1 or 2 plays, you win that game. And it's a completely different vibe and everyone's happy. So if your process over results, which I think every coach that I've ever met is, you tweak the process a little and you go out there and try to do a lot of the same things. Granted, those tweaks are important, right? Don't get me wrong. Those tweaks are important. And also acknowledge that you have to do the things you're known for, the things that you do really well. Vegas scored a couple of goals on guys getting lost or trying to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the least Canes thing on the planet, right? Getting lost on defense. It's actually what happened on the Montreal game 1 quite a bit as well. Guys were just out of position. They were a little bit lost. They didn't know where they were. They didn't know where their man was, more importantly. And I would say on a smaller scale, there was some of that going on against Vegas. If you know what to do and you execute your system the way that they've executed their system plenty of times this year, and you get a little bit of puck luck, I think you win game 2 and you're going to Vegas tied up in the series, and it's a completely new series. Dennis, we talked about this earlier, but for those that weren't listening, is today a must-win for the Canes? Do they have to go get it, and why?
Yes, I think it's a must-win because the last thing that I want to see this Carolina Hurricanes team have to do is fall behind 0-2 and then have to go on the road for games 3 and 4. I would hate that. I don't want that for this team. If you split here at home, you're feeling pretty good flying into Vegas. Like you really are, because guess what? You go into Vegas, hey, guys, split there in Vegas, and now you're back here 2-2. You're back here 2-2 with 3 games left in the series, and you have 2 of those 3 games at home. I like Carolina's chances much better. I think it's going to be much more difficult to get back to 2-2 if Carolina loses this game today, because you're expecting to win twice on the road. That is something I do not think that this Carolina Hurricanes team wants to be in at all. I mean, obviously, we know for a fact they don't want to be. Let's not be cliche here. But I think it's what you said, 91. I know Adam Gold said he doesn't, the history doesn't matter, but 91% of the time, just think of it in that regard, is that you're down 0-2 having to go on the road. Now, this Carolina Hurricanes team has been down 0-2 before in a series and has won with this group of guys, at least some of them, back in 2019. Now, granted, they lost the first 2 games on the road in Washington, and then they came back and won that series in 7 games, having won Game 7 on the road in Washington in that first round. But this is a cup final against a much better team.
By any way, I don't care how they get there. If they come back for Game 5 tied 2-2, I think the Canes win the cup.
Yes.
And
I agree.
Again, I don't care if they win tonight. I don't care if they win 2 on the road. Get back here. By the nature of losing Game 1, you put yourself in a situation where it'll be difficult. But get back here for Game 5, 2-2. I think you win the cup. And you could boil it down even further and go if you don't want to think that small, you want to think even smaller. You go to win tonight, right? It is very much the reason why I say must win is because, it's the one in front of you.
Yeah.
Right? It's the one in front of you. And I'm not even going to say it's a hypocrite move, but I guarantee you I will call tonight a must win. And if they lose, I'm going to be on air on the night of, or actually I won't because it'll be a Saturday game, but I will be tomorrow on the show saying Game 3 is a must win. Every game from here on out is a must win. Once you fall behind in a Stanley Cup final, the chances dwindle by a ton if you don't take care of business. So tonight is a must win. Your best players have to step up and play like it. The good news for the Canes is I think they have a long list of best players. How's this for an analogy? The Canes are out of me and or my wife, Mandy, they're much more like my wife. My wife, when she talks about her friends, she has 11 best friends. She has, her 4 best friends, 5 or 8 best friends from high school, or 4 best friends from college, or 3 best friends from grad school. She's got all these best friends. I'm going that's inherently not a best friend. A best friend, you got to have one. That's how I look at it.
Best friends are one.
She's no, I got 15. I got 15 best friends. Canes, looking at their top guys, I think a lot of teams, you go top guys, they got 2 or 3 names. The Canes, they're we got 11. You do with that what you want. We got 11 top guys. So in a game like today, your top guys got to play like top guys. Give me 8 of those 11. I think you'll be all right. You got a lot of best friends on this team. And that's no disrespect to the minority of the team, the smaller section of the team that I just called not their top guys. But hey, everybody needs role players. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to turn things over to the Canes Tailgate
That's
show.
right.
Coming up next. It's still us. It's still outside the Lenovo Center. We're just calling it a different thing. Canes Tailgate show coming up next right here on 99.9. Don't go anywhere.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina, Stanley Cup Final Edition. It's Game 2 with Vegas.
He scores! Nikolai Ehlers, 2 for 2, my friend!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck Drop at 8.
Now Hannafin gives it away. A chance shot. They score! The captain! Jordan Staal ties it at 3!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bo Bites. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bo time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bo Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bo Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's Bo time.
June is Men's Health Month, and WakeMed encourages you to get a PSA blood test. Starting at age 45, men should be screened every 2 years. You may need to start earlier if you have a higher risk for prostate cancer or a family history of the disease. A simple blood test checks the level of PSA or prostate-specific antigen in your blood. If levels are elevated, your doctor may recommend additional screening. For more information, visit wakemed.org. That's wakemed.org.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a kiss.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Sound the siren. It's time for the Canes Tailgate Show, driven by Chapel Hill Tire. Complete car care.
That's right, Canes Tailgate Show, getting things, I don't want to say get them rolling because they've been rolling, but keeping things rolling here outside the Lenovo Center. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox here with me. Dennis, I don't know if this helps the party or hurts the party.
Okay.
Jarvie boys, the Winnipeg Bros.
Yeah.
They're all out there in Canadian tuxedos, I believe they're called.
Yeah.
Denim on top, denim on bottom.
I like it.
Out there rocking out in the tailgate section. So if you see a group of dudes looking like they're having a great time supporting one of their best friends in the Stanley Cup final, dressed in all denim with some sleeves ripped off, those are the good old boys, good old Canadian boys out there.
I respect this. I respect it.
Speaking of Seth Jarvis, to recap from earlier today, some of our first goal scorer predictions, the fans really want Jarvie to score. I think it was yesterday we were discussing, may have been 2 days ago, who could score that would take the roof off the place the most, like the fans would react to most positively. I think a first period Seth Jarvis goal, they might still be cheering for that. They might still be electrified off that going into the third period. Seth Jarvis today, I think, is somebody who, for him, for his line, and for the fans, it would be a really, really good ignition switch, catalyst, if he's able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, I'm with it. I just want anyone on that top line to score. I do, especially on a power. They got a power play goal. Be wonderful.
Got to draw a penalty first.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got 2 last game. I will say this though about the Cup final is that don't expect more than 3 chances in a game. Just don't.
On the power play.
Just don't expect more than 3 in a game unless things just get absolutely, bat bleep crazy. But do not expect to get more than 3. Refs are going to let stuff go. It has to be pretty obvious, like an obvious trip or obvious high stick, or obviously like a puck over the glass delay a game type deal. But
shout out to Jankowski.
Shout out to Mark Jankowski. But don't expect much. So when you have the opportunities, you got to cash in. You just have to cash in at some point. And I would love to see that top trio get something today. Even better on the power play. Maybe I'm just being selfish asking for it to be on the power play, but just something.
And vice versa. Play through contact. Don't expect to get the call. Don't leave your feet trying to sell it. It'd be much easier to just go ahead and finish the play than it would be to expect a penalty call. Again, it's the Stanley Cup final. They want you to settle it on the ice. And I think, I hear the logic on call it the way it's been called all year.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to happen. The Stanley Cup final, it's going to be officiated a bit differently, so be prepared for that. I thought this was interesting. Dennis, speaking of getting that top line of goal, do you know who has the shortest odds to score an anytime goal tonight in game 2?
Seth Jarvis?
No.
Oh.
Andrei Svechnikov.
Oh, okay.
And that includes the Golden Knights.
All right.
In the game, he has the shortest odds to score a goal, plus 195 for Andrei Svechnikov. Seth Jarvis, second most short odds for the Canes, plus 220. So, and then there's Stankoven, Ehlers, Sebastian Aho next. So as much as the fans maybe have kind of grown frustrated with that top line, when you look at the odds makers, when you look at many of the prediction markets, they're still the guys that everybody expects. They're still the guys that are most likely to score goals for the Carolina Hurricanes, which is crazy because you have some guys that have done it at a much higher clip in this postseason. But that's kind of what I was getting at yesterday when I was like, dance with who brought you. You're still not going to find somebody who's a better chance than those guys elsewhere on your lineup, right? That's not already playing a huge role. Like the Stankoven line's playing really good. You're not going to mess with that. The Stahl line's playing really good. You're not going to mess with that. If you find somebody else out there that gives you a better chance than Aho, Svech, or Jarvis, you're probably been mismanaging your lines or the team the whole time because those guys are really gosh darn good. And if you have someone better than them, they should have been playing a bigger role this entire season. So you got to dance with who brought you. Those guys, I'm sure there are plays that they wish they could have back or they wish they could have done differently. But for the most part, those are the players you have. Those are the players that got you here, and you're going to win and lose on their performance. I think you just got to look around and hope that their performance is good enough to get the win.
You just hope.
And I don't think there's any secret motivational anything either. I'm always a big fan of showing players who are in a little bit of a slump their own highlights. But I don't think you mess around with that kind of stuff during the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
I think that's a Jedi mind trick you pull in January. You don't do that stuff in the Stanley Cup final, in part because they need time to relax and unwind as well. There's only one day between game 1 and game 2, and you got to pack in a ton of film. You got to pack in a ton of scouting, reporting, coaching. There's not really enough time to do Jedi mind tricks. You give them the information they need, and you trust them to get out there and make the plays. We talked about this earlier. I think Rod Brindamore knows that the work is done.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the work that they have to do in games. I'm talking about like they're ready or they're not. Right? And he's going to sit back and he's going to say, you guys know what you got to do. Go do it.
Yeah, Rod even said earlier this morning, he's like, nothing I have to tell these guys to get them ready or what to expect. Like these guys all know what to expect in these games. They all understand the effort that's required. Again, the effort was there. It was just a 1-goal game. It's just a couple plays here and there, a couple mistakes you clean up. You get out of your end a little bit cleaner a couple of times. You cover the slot a little bit better. That's it. I mean, it really is that razor thin of a series. Tim, I told you this on Tuesday. Flip a coin on this series. Like for real, I would not be shocked if this thing goes 7. It's just that evenly matched.
Here's my son is obsessed with Space Jam, so we've been watching a lot. Every coach wishes there was a Michael Secret stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right? At halftime, you give them the water bottle, and they go out there and play their best hockey. Every coach wishes, but that's a movie. It doesn't exist. By the way, it didn't even exist in the movie. It was just water.
It's just water.
You had it in you all along.
The placebo effect, people.
Yeah, it was just water. Even in Looney Tune Land, there is nothing there, right? You've worked at least this entire season for it. Some of the guys on this roster have worked the better part of a decade to be ready for this opportunity.
Yep.
There's nothing that, the game kicks off in hour and 15 minutes, a little bit, or tips, puck drops an hour and 25 minutes. There's nothing you can do. No. You're either ready or you're not. You've either put in all the work to be ready to go out there and fight back and win game 2, or you're not. Like that's the options. You can't cram for the test right now. The studying's been done. By the way, please, all social medias, go ahead and follow us at 99.9 The Fan, at 99.9 The Fan, the channel on YouTube. You get a little head start. Download the app, 99.9 The Fan as well. You get a little head start on a lot of giveaways.
Yeah.
We're giving away the trading cards, the hockey cards today. You would have known about that from social media. We did the QR code scanning for tickets to today's game earlier this week.
Yep.
You would have had a head start on that if you followed us on social media. We try to make sure that if you follow, you're rewarded for doing so, in addition to just all of the great content that we're constantly cranking out on all of our social media pages and YouTube and podcasts and everything else. We try to give you extra little added benefits. So 99.9 The Fan on whatever your social media of choice is, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the whole thing, and 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. With that being said, the Canes Tailgate Show will continue with our picks. We will make our picks. We will make our predictions right here, right after this. Stick around.
Canes hockey is back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000.
Is he getting him back, or is he turning him in? Oh, the drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
It's Canes tailgate time, Tim.
It is. Sorry, I'm in awe of the loyalty of Canes fans. So we've been giving away packs of hockey cards all day here, and somehow this was not our doing. I want this to be clear. If we give something away, we want you to go enjoy it. We want it to be yours. Naturally, just in authentically, fans have started turning in their Golden Knights cards.
And some others, but yeah.
And just others who they, I guess, don't like. But a guy just walked up and he's like, I got 3 Golden Knights. It was a bad pack. And it's Tomas Hertl. It's Noah Hannafin. It's Dorofeev. It's a group of guys that we're rooting against, and they don't even want to have them like in their car when they go in to watch the game. So they're turning them back in. I respect the heck out of the loyalty.
I have about 3 packs worth of cards here. I have 24 cards. So here's what people have given back. And this actually doesn't include a 25th card that is currently in a trash can over to our left that someone ripped up. We have a Tomas Hertl, Noah Hannafin, Pavel Dorofeev. Someone threw an Adrian Kempe in here from the LA Kings. Not entirely sure why, but hey, all right, there's that. There's a Brad Marchand that's in here.
Makes sense.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. A Toronto Maple Leafs Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
I also respect that as well. Shea Theodore. We also have the golden chance, the golden mascot.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should go find one of the unfortunate Golden Knights fans around here
and just tear them up in front of them.
Sell them to them.
Oh,
and then put all the money on the Canes to win the cup.
Let's go. So yeah, we have even their mascot card got thrown in here too. There's a Jack Eichel, Ivan Barbashev,
You're either
Mark Stone.
for us or against us, and everyone you're reading is against us.
Another MVP rising to the occasion, Toronto Maple Leafs, Mitch Marner. I'm sure they would pay well for that. Jack Eichel again, another Jack Eichel. A Robert Thomas St. Louis Blues card. Again, a lot of Canes fans were wanting Robert Thomas at the trade deadline, but their Vegas Golden Knights picture seats in the background.
Anything with the logo.
Same thing with the Stuart Skinner Edmonton Oilers, who's not even on the Edmonton Oilers anymore, but there are Vegas people in the background.
All right, so we get the picture.
There's
here.
a lot in here, and then someone also threw in
a dies. They are. If you are a Cane, you're good. If you are any way associated with the Golden Knights, you're out of here.
And someone also threw in an Alex Ovechkin.
We just don't like that guy either.
That's
years past some old playoff series. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan was earlier. This is the Canes Tailgate Show, getting you ready for Game 2 Stanley Cup final action here in Carolina. Obviously, Vegas leads the series 1-0, but the Canes are looking to even up the series tonight, and it's pretty quintessential. It's pretty necessary that they do go ahead and even up the series.
We have another card.
They're turning them back in. See, now we've talked about
Hill.
it. Now we've talked about it. What's going on here? Oh, they won the search for Stanley.
Oh, you guys won our tickets. Come on over here.
So what for the? I just
You're the one that scanned it,
earlier, right?
Okay, you want to sit on down.
I just talked about this earlier. Earlier this week, we had a search for Stanley giveaway where you could go to 5 different area bars and scan a QR code, and if you did that,
Can't get enough of the Carolina Hurricanes? Check out my podcast, Iced Tea, hosted by me, Megan LaMontagne, as I take you behind the scenes and get exclusive stories about the team. This season, I've interviewed Seth Jarvis's brother, Caden, who talks about a young Jarvie growing up, longtime PA announcer Wade Minter, who spills the tea on how a mess-up made national news, and legendary color commentator Trip Tracy, just to name a few of the guests. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. If you're planning a summer road trip, car trouble is the last thing you want to deal with. Small issues can turn into big disruptions once you're on the road. Before you go, Chapel Hill Tire will give you a full bumper-to-bumper inspection to make sure your vehicle is ready for the heat and the miles ahead, so you can spend less time worrying about your car and more time enjoying the trip. Book your appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
For jumping around, for scanning those QR codes, and trying to win your way into tonight's game. By the way, in case you're wondering, they had a Brindamore and Aho sweater on, so those are
I respect that.
Those are about right down the middle Canes jerseys as you can get. Dennis, we only have a few more minutes here. We got about 10 minutes. We need to make some picks. So are you ready to set us up? I know you're dealing with some tech stuff back there.
Yeah, that's all right. We got this.
All right, let's go ahead and line them up and go ahead and make some picks, make some predictions.
All right, over under shots on goal for Alexander Nikishin. 1.5 for Alexander Nikishin. Over under shots on goal.
Gosh, I hope that's over. I'm taking the over. I hope he has more than one shot that's 95 miles per hour or higher, let alone more than one shot overall. I want him to play every single second of today's game as if it were the last 5 seconds of a game and you're down 1.
Okay.
That was almost absolutely electric. and he was just a hair away from converting, and I want him to do that over and over again.
All right, next one we have here. Andrei Svechnikov shots on goal, over under 3.5.
Do I want to go with what I hope happens, or do I want to go full reverse jinx?
Yes.
Do I want to go Richard Jefferson on this bad boy?
Yes.
Randy Jackson on this bad boy? That's RJ. That's reverse jinx. So yesterday, I think you gave me the same number, 3.5, or not yesterday, game 1. And I said over because I wanted Andre to go over. I wanted him to have over. Then he went like the first 2 periods without getting a shot on goal.
Not even a shot attempt, let alone one on goal.
And he finished with 1 shot on goal?
I believe, 1 or 2.
So I'm taking the under
and
hoping I'm wrong beyond all get out. I'm hoping he has 14 shots on goal. But I will take the under on 3.5 just to flip up the juju.
Seth Jarvis, same number, over under 3.5.
Well, he had 3 shots on goal in game 1.
He did.
And had at least 1 egregious should have taken it. So if he has the exact same game and just takes the shots that he should take, obviously he's over. So give me the over on that one.
Logan Stankoven, over under 2.5.
I'm thinking that line does get going in a more obvious and aggressive way than they did in the first. Not saying they played bad in the first game of the series, but I mean they're the Stankoven line. They're to quote Mugatu in Zoolander, they're so hot right now. I think they're gonna ramp it up, and he's actually been one of the more generous shooters on the team. Right? He lets it fly. So as a tone setter, maybe a first goal. I didn't pick him as first goal scorer. We've had a lot, but he's been Mr. First Goal this postseason. I think he scores early. I think he has a bunch of shots. Give me Stankoven on the over.
I picked him. as my first goal scorer.
If you're right, I want half credit for just saying I like the pick.
That's fair. All right, we are also going to go with total number of saves. Over under Frederik Andersen total saves, 21.5.
You're not going to, I said this earlier, you're not going to hold Vegas to 12 shots, which is what was happening in that Montreal series.
Yep.
What was the number?
21.5.
I'll take the under.
Oh, okay.
They were under in game 1 even on that with saves. I think it was like 23 shots, but they scored a bunch of goals. I'm hoping they don't allow that many shots. So something like 21 shots on goal allowed, a goal or 2 keeps it on the under. Give me the under.
Okay. Now let's also go with Carter Hart, Vegas goaltender. Over under number of saves for Carter Hart, 27.5.
Over. Canes are letting it fly.
Okay.
If there was one thing, I think Rod Brindamore for the most part said, "You guys are ready, right? I don't got to reinvent the wheel for you. Here's the scouting report. Here's what we need to adjust." But if there was one like coaching emphasis that he gave them, I hope it was, "Let it fly, boys. If you got to look, give it a rip." So I'm taking the over.
All right, let's go to total points today. Over under 1.5 points for Sebastian Aho.
I don't want to be greedy with the top line.
Okay.
I want 1 goal. I want them all to participate.
Okay.
That's 1 point for each.
Yeah.
I'll take the under in the interest of being realistic. I want them to do something good every shift. Possess it in the offensive zone for 45 seconds. Land a big hit. Create a turnover. Do something good every shift. It doesn't necessarily have to be a goal. You don't have to force goals. Something good every shift. I think they get a goal. I think everybody participates. I think they all get a point. I'm taking the under.
Okay. Jackson Blake over under 1.5 points.
The Stankoven line is ready to roll.
Yeah.
I think it's over. I think there's 2 goals from there, and it's everybody participates. That line does seem they take care of each other. They almost like don't score unless the other 2 are going to get the assist. There's a lot of full line points on goals for that line. So I think I see something. There's something gritty from Taylor Hall, maybe a board battle win or something. Then something pretty from Jackson Blake and Stankoven, maybe a little beautiful pass, setup, shot, something. So they all get the point. Jackson Blake gets a couple of them. I'm taking the over.
All right, let's go goals in the first period for Carolina. Over under 1.5.
I'm going under.
Okay.
None in the first minute, 1 in the period. Under.
Okay.
And it's a stupid superstition thing that you'd be rooting for your team not to score in the first minute. But the Canes have scored in the first 35 seconds twice, and it's the only 2 games they've lost this postseason. Which, by the way, I do want to point out, 12-2 would still be tied for the fewest losses going into the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Like if they lost 2 prior to this. So they're still like their winning percentage is still absurd. So still be confident in your team at least, through 2 games into the Stanley Cup final.
All right, over under total number of goals scored in the game. Over under total number. Goals scored at 5.5.
See, here's the tough part.
Yeah.
My gut just said take the under.
Yeah.
Right? My gut said go under. But I have just picked a bunch of overs.
You picked over on shots or some things like that?
I picked over on points for Jackson Blake. I think I've said the Stankoven line's going to get going, and they're going to have 2 goals. But I do think under. I think it's 2-1, 3-2, 2-1 or 3-2 win for the Canes.
Yeah.
But if it's in that realm, I think it's got to be under 5.5. So give me the under.
Okay.
I will flip that one back on you. Over under 5.5.
Over. Think we get a 4-2 game today.
4-2, is that an empty netter 4-2
Yeah,
or is that a
empty
true 4-2?
netter 4-2.
All right, it's similar.
All counts the same.
You're darn right. Dennis, we need, but except for when you're looking back at series and things, you always go, if you remove the empty netters, which you don't do from the final score, but you do from like who won the game flow. Dennis, I need a winner. I need a score prediction, and I need you to draw me out in as many details as possible how this one's going to go.
Well, I already gave you a score 4-2. Carolina. I think Carolina wins this one 4-2. I think it's a similar back-and-forth type game where it's just 2 teams trading blow for blow, shot for shot. As this game goes along, I think you're going to see Carolina jump out hard, and then middle of the first period, you're going to see Vegas push back. You're going to see Carolina push hard at the end of the first period. Then it's going to be Vegas release. It's just literally going to see a back-and-forth game. I think you're going to see that all series. But I think Carolina is going to be up. They're going to be tied 2-2 going into the third period. And I think you get a goal by Jordan Martinook in the third period that pushes it to 3-2, and then Carolina gets an empty netter and make it 4-2 at the end.
If Jordan Martinook scores the go-ahead goal, I've said it before, happy tears. You're going to see them. People are going to be hugging people they don't know. They're going to be turning to whoever has the seat next to them and saying, give me a hug. I need an embrace right now. Jordan Martinook just scored. What are you know all my sayings by now, Dennis. What's the greatest indicator of future results?
Past results.
What happened in Game 2 of the first round for the Carolina Hurricanes?
Canes won 3-2 in overtime.
What happened in the second series, Game 2 for the Carolina Hurricanes?
Canes won 3-2 in overtime.
What happened against Montreal in the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2?
Canes won 3-2 in overtime.
What's going to happen tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes?
Carolina Hurricanes win 4-2 in regular.
I think it's going to be a 3-2 overtime winner.
All right.
I've already had my first goal score. I think it's Taylor Hall. My sandwich told me so. The game winner in overtime, as much as this is the first game in a very long time I have skewed from Sebastian Aho first goal scorer.
I know.
I have not completely quit Sebastian Aho. He gets the game winner in overtime.
By the way, if he scores first, you're done picking Sebastian Aho. You're done.
Even though I'm not superstitious, I will respect yours.
You're done.
And I will not pick him. Taylor Hall in the first. I think it's back and forth, right? I had the stat earlier. Second most go-ahead or game-tying goals in the last 10 minutes of the entire postseason, all the games this postseason, by this point in the postseason in history. Second most. They've had 30 across the postseason, game-tying or go-ahead goals in the last 10 minutes of the third period or overtime. I don't think it's going to change anything. I think this game will be back and forth. I think both teams will appear to have their chances to win it. I think it'll go to overtime at 2-2, and I think Sebastian Aho will score the game winner. And even better for this, there will be assists for both Svech and Jarvis as the top line, as we have been demanding of them the last 48 hours, comes through in a big moment, makes the play they need to win the game.
Kind of like similar to what we saw Game 3 in Montreal.
Yes.
Okay.
Very similar, except also Game 2 versus Montreal, 3-2. We are getting ready to round out the Canes Tailgate show here outside the Lenovo Center. We're going to pass things off to Adam Gold for Stormwatch. You'll hear from all the interviews and everything to get you ready for game time. Dennis and I have had a fun time out here with all of you. We're going to go interact with some more fans. Thanks to Dave Modlin for keeping us up and running. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Canes!
Can't get enough of the Carolina Hurricanes? Check out my podcast, Iced Tea, hosted by me, Megan LaMontagne, as I take you behind the scenes and get exclusive stories about the team. This season, I've interviewed Seth Jarvis's brother, Caden, who talks about a young Jarvie growing up, longtime PA announcer Wade Minter,